floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. 67 degrees. Time now is 6:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Good morning, Rose. Good morning, Carl.
Good morning, McGraw.
So I'm taking steps to overcome my hiking addiction. I'm not out of the woods yet.
Everyone loves a good hiking joke. What's Captain Paul? Does he have another job going on? What's his deal? Summer hours for this guy?
I asked him this 2 weeks ago, and he said since he does photographs for high school sports, he's used to taking off summer months. So he was not used to taking off like whenever everybody else does it the last 2 weeks when they're using up their vacation.
Got it. So he likes taking the summer he likes to take his vacations during the summer.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll suffer with Connor McCarthy.
He shall be back tomorrow.
Yeah. Connor, are you there? Can you chime in?
What am I chiming in on?
Well, I know you were hosting the FIFA World Cup show with Mark Moser on Sunday.
Well, co-hosted with Brendan, yeah.
Yeah. So can you explain to me that goal that was disallowed by the refs in that Holland game?
Oh, in the Norway game.
In the Norway game, yeah.
Yeah. His name is Holland, but he is Norwegian.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's very confusing.
Well, they say he pushed him, and that's a foul.
Twice. He pushed him once, and then he pushed him again, and he fell over.
I mean, was it really a foul, or is it?
I didn't think so. I thought it was a little soft.
I did too. So the refs had it in for England, right? The refs wanted England to win.
Well, if you're a conspiracy theorist, you can think that.
And then what happened? Did that England score in the overtime?
They did, yeah, like off of a goalkeeper mistake, really.
How come they didn't go to they go to penalty kicks after 2 15-minute overtime periods?
Hey, you're learning more and more, McGraw.
Yeah. And what's the golden ball? Is that like sudden death?
That hasn't existed for 30 years. I don't know why they put that graphic up there, to remind people it's not golden goal. It hasn't been for 30 years.
Really?
Well, that's what I was wondering. I thought it was golden goal. I'm old school soccer.
They changed it to golden goal because sudden death is a little more, right? I thought that was the whole point. Like, let's put a little more positive spin on the whole concept that the next goal wins.
Yeah. So is golden goal the next goal wins? Is that what that means?
Yeah, that's sudden death. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Does that sound nicer? Golden goal.
Sudden death.
Yeah, sudden death. No, that's a valid point. Yes. I was looking forward to the shootout, actually. I wanted to see the shootout. I think that's the best part of soccer.
Well, it's not really the sport. It's kind of its own. It's like a gimmick.
It's like
I was watching it in the World Cup, so it's clearly part of the sport.
it's like a shootout in hockey.
Like a home run's not a part of soccer because I haven't seen a home run in the soccer game, but I've seen shootouts in soccer games, so it is a part of soccer.
Well, it's like ending a baseball game on a home run derby. It's been compared before.
I understand that, or they just play until someone scores a goal.
Yeah, but they don't do that. They should, but they don't.
Interesting, though. That is a good. I didn't think about that. It is.
It's
like ending the game on a home run derby because it's.
Well, they do that in hockey.
Yeah,
don't
it's
they?
just the quickest way.
Yeah,
to,
but they didn't used
decide,
to.
Yeah,
I know they would
They
leave
used to
it
have
with
ties.
a tie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and football has ties.
I feel like the other team should be able to pick who gets to score for who gets to.
I think they
kick.
just shouldn't have called that lame foul on that poor guy with the good-looking hair.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bitterness
All right,
out
so
there.
what? There's 4 teams left now?
Yes.
And where are they playing those games? Is Kansas City now out of the...
One's at Arlington, and the other is...
I think it's in Atlanta.
And then the championship game is in New York?
Sunday.
Yeah, the Meadowlands.
Yeah.
So Jersey.
What? Yeah, but they're calling it New York, New Jersey. I don't know why. It's New Jersey. It's so weird. New York, New Jersey. No, it's not. It's New Jersey. It's the world's
They're
gone
telling
mad.
people to park in New York and then come over to New Jersey.
It's only like 6 miles, but it takes you 4 days to get there, unless you take mass transit. But that's a whole other deal.
So
All
you've
right.
got England versus Argentina.
Yeah.
Argentina is the defending champions.
Right. Yeah.
And then you have Spain and France. That's the game to watch.
Spain and France.
Yeah.
How good? Spain's pretty good, isn't it, Connor?
Yeah, Spain is good. I would say probably the winner of that game would be the favorite in the final.
Really?
These are the 4 best teams right now, though. Right? Each game's going to be. This is it.
I don't know.
Down to the
I
wire,
thought
people.
Norway was the best team.
Yeah, apparently not.
There was this conspiracy against them. Poor people from Norway. All right. All right. Coming up on the show today, What do we got? Ben Siegel's going to be joining us. The passing of Lindsey Graham. I never would have thought that. That one was, I woke up Sunday morning and just had to read it like 3 times. I thought it was like, wait, Lindsey Graham passed away? But he did, and the tributes are flowing in. But what does this mean going forward? Ben Siegel's got that story. Stephen Roberts is going to be talking to us about the legacy of Lindsey Graham. Peter Harlambu is going to be joining us. The Department of Justice is going after the New York Times reporters with subpoenas again. Peter Harlambu has that story. Mike Dubusky's got EV sales are on the rise, believe it or not. Yeah. Electric vehicle sales are on the rise, even without those subsidies. So we'll get into that with Mike Dubusky. Randy Carricker, we can talk the Cardinals. Cardinals finished up pretty nicely. Good first half. So we'll get into all that. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, Attorney General Catherine Hanaway is going to be joining us. Lots to get to with her. But she was in the news last week because she wants to shut down the Mark Twain Hotel. It's interesting. I don't know. I mean, not that I'm against shutting down the Mark Twain Hotel or trying to solve some of the problems there, but is that a Attorney General job or role, or where's Gabe Gore in all of this? Why is the Attorney General reaching down into the city of St. Louis and wanting to close a hotel?
Because they like drug trafficking and stuff going on in there, which that's her purview, right?
Well, I understand that, but I mean, isn't that a city thing? Wouldn't that? Why isn't Gabe Gore in on this deal? Why is she making the big push? Not that I'm against it. I'm just sort of curious as to how it all sort of works out. Because one thing I've learned in this 26 years in St. Louis radio: do not cross Catherine Hanaway. Cross anybody else in the business. That's okay. Don't cross Catherine Hanaway. So we got that going for ourselves. All right. What else we got going on? Nothing.
I saw John Anderson at the factory this weekend. I actually left my apartment and went out and did something social. Aren't you proud?
John Anderson?
And stayed for the whole whole show.
John Anderson, the former ESPN host?
No.
Oh. The man who ran for president in 1980?
There's a lot of I think there's probably a lot of John Andersons out there.
Jon Anderson, the former lead singer of Yes.
Oh. How was he?
He was good. He's good. What is he? He might be 80, but he sounds really good. I'm just really impressed with these guys. They're still touring.
Where was he?
At the factory. And I want to say, I know.
You went out to Chesterfield?
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I kind of want to acknowledge.
You know what I'd say about that? Yes.
It's a straight shot on 40, though. You know, like, in all honesty, it wasn't that hard to get out. It wasn't super packed because that was a concern, right? Mm-hmm. One way in, one way out. No one wants to sit in the parking lot for 45 minutes post-show.
Well, it's not Riverport.
It's kind of...
But that has more than one way to get out.
The district. I mean, have you been out there? Like, there's all, Steve's Hot Dogs. It was the first time I actually went. That's...
Yeah.
Anyway. But
Rose discovering Chesterfield Valley for the first time. Last time you were there was flooded in 93.
No, actually full. It was a mall. It was an outlet mall.
Do you know they have like a Target out there and like a Home Depot and a Lowe's? So it's like a whole thing out there.
She wanted to go to Rock and Brews, but it was closed.
But once you get on 40, it's like straight shot down all the way home. So not too bad.
See that?
Not too bad.
Yeah. Interesting. Rose.
And she stayed for the whole show.
I know. I stayed for they encored with Roundabout. And I'm like, well, of course.
Was it a faux encore or was it a real encore?
Well, no, you know what? It wasn't really an encore. It was just the last song. Like, they're not doing, it's just, here's what we're doing, and then we're out.
Gotcha.
So, it was
okay.
good.
All right, good. Mm-hmm. All right. John Anderson.
Yeah.
Who knew? Mm-hmm. St. Louis Cloud Company Traffic Center. Here's Connor McCarthy.
All right, McGraw, no real traffic out on the roads right now. Just a couple of things to report here. There's a stalled vehicle on 70 westbound before 270 in the right shoulder. Not closing any lanes and not causing too much traffic right now. And there's also a stalled vehicle, or I should say there was a stalled vehicle on 70 westbound before 270. That has been now cleared off the road. No traffic there now. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
Just what the weather doctor ordered here, a much quieter weather pattern this week, loads of sunshine and minimal rain chances. Today's forecast, sunny, warm, dry, up to about 87 for the high this afternoon. Humidity really not too bad today. And then clear skies expected tonight, down to 69 early tomorrow morning. More sunshine on tap for Tuesday too, just a little bit hotter. We'll be close to 90 tomorrow afternoon. Seasonably hot, we'll call it. From Wednesday into the weekend, the heat index between 95 and 100 each afternoon during that 5-day stretch. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers on the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk about retirement. Kevin Lloyd will help you when it comes to retirement. You need a true financial plan. I was reading something the other day. AARP just did a study. It shows you where I am when AARP starts showing up in my algorithms. AARP did a study, and it was like 82% of Americans know how to put money into a 401k. But 82% of them don't know how to take it out of the 401k. So we can put it in, but we don't know how to take it out. That's where Kevin Lloyd comes in, because not only do you need to learn how to take it out, but you need how to take it out tax efficiently so you reduce your taxes. That's the whole thing. Anybody can take it out, but you can rip the wires out and cause all sorts of damage to your taxes. That's why you sit down with a true professional like Kevin Lloyd or one of his advisors. They will increase your Social Security tax. They'll reduce your taxes. They'll figure out the best way to take it out of your 401k. They'll all of it, whether it's other accounts or pensions or anything like that. They'll put it into one big giant plan, and then that's your game plan for retirement. And since he reduces your taxes, you'll have more money in your retirement accounts to invest. That's the way to do it. Kevin Lloyd, sit down with him, have a true conversation. 314-641-1010. Right? This is the last summer you're working, you're thinking about retiring, you want to see where you are with all this. Call Kevin. 314-641-1010 or the website whenretirementhappens.com.
The culmination of the summer of soccer is upon us, but before the title match in New York, the Big 550 KTRS presents our championship game preview show, Friday night, July 17th at 6. Presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. Also brought to you by Milo's Bocce Garden, Together Credit Union, Vengel's Restaurant and Bar, Fisher and Fritchell Homes, and Spas and More STL on the Big 550.
Mom, what do you always say?
There's nothing sadder than jewelry that sits in a drawer.
That's why we are proud to offer jewelry repair on-site at Newssetter's Fine Jewelry. We know that your jewelry is important to you, and we take that part of our job very seriously. Visit us at Doherty Ferry in Big Bend or learn more at wowdiamonds.com.
Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. Summer in St. Louis means your air conditioner basically clocks in with a full-time job. And if your AC is 15, 20, or maybe even 25 years old, it could be working a whole lot harder and costing you a whole lot more than it should. A newer, high-efficiency system from Premier Heating and Cooling can cut cooling costs dramatically compared to older units. In some homes, upgrading from a 20-year-old air conditioner to a modern, high-efficiency system can reduce energy use by 20 to 40%. And even a professional clean and check tune-up can improve efficiency, airflow, and help your system keep up during brutal heat waves. Add in a smart thermostat, and the Department of Energy says homeowners can save another 10% a year on heating and cooling costs. So before your old AC taps out during the hottest week of the summer, call the highly trained team at Premier Heating and Cooling. Financing options available. 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
The official birthplace of the toasted ravioli is
Mama's on the Hill.
And Mama's on the Hill serves the best in town. Mama's has been a mainstay on the Hill for decades and is still a family-run restaurant serving up great Italian food in a fun atmosphere. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, and right in the heart of the Hill at Edwards and Bischoff. Delicious catering and party rooms too.
Mama's on the Hill.
Make reservations at 314-776-3100 and 24/7 at mamasonthehill.com.
When it comes to mortgage lenders, I know you have no shortage of options. But are you working with someone local who can truly simplify the process? I'm David Goldberg with the Goldberg Group, and as a St. Louis home purchase expert, I know this market inside and out. I specialize in tough-to-complete situations for borrowers who are self-employed, looking to buy and sell at the same time, and may have been turned down somewhere else. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or seasoned homeowner, you can trust me with all of your home financing needs. Call or text me at 314-471-4030. 314-471-4030.
Hi, I'm Robert Williams, owner of Auto Art on the Hill. If you own a classic car, Auto Art is your one-stop shop for repair, restoration, and maintenance. For over 35 years, we've helped car enthusiasts and collectors keep their vehicles looking great and running their best so they can drive them. We're also proud to be the home of the award-winning Throttle Squad Car Club. Classic cars are meant to be driven, and like any vehicles, they require regular maintenance. Our experts will help keep you and your classic on the road. Fall in love with your car again. Visit Auto Art at 5305 Northrop Avenue on the Hill, online at autoartstl.com.
Tune in weekly to the Frank and Jill Show to catch the new Legal Eagle segment featuring renowned attorney Travis Noble of Travis Noble Attorneys at Law.
Every week, Travis will join the show for an entertaining segment focusing on legal stories.
And news right here on the Big 550. McGraw Millhaven on KTRS.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line, first thing Rose notices in the valley is a hot dog stand. That tracks. All right, we have an early winner for the Country Club Car Wash text of the day. They will receive a free Country Club Car Wash, courtesy of Country Club Car Wash. Man, that flooding in southern Missouri is no joke,
I just
man.
noticed the feed on the monitor, the Whoozah. That's
361 people rescued, 1 dead. The pictures are, truly devastating. I mean, this thing came down in buckets. And these poor people, man. I mean, it is just 361 people rescued. Came so fast, so furious.
So were they on the floating on the river as this during this, and they're just kind of camping?
They were,
and
on the side of the river or whatever, going down the street, and all of a sudden the road gives out. Nearly the National Weather Service said the Black River rose 29 feet, breaking the flood record in 1993.
Whoa.
Yeah. Weather storms were expected through the weekend. Just extraordinary stuff. This weather is no joke, man. And this weekend, it wasn't hot, but it was so humid and so soupy and just, some of those pictures out of southern Missouri are pretty bad. So anyway, so a little thought there. You know who else passed away? Sam Neill passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sam Neill was a great, I don't want to call him a character actor. He was one of the leads in the 7 Jurassic Park movies.
He was in 3 of them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He was a big deal in a lot of them. So he was more than a character actor.
He was lead.
He was in The Hunt for Red October.
That's
He was the devil in the Omen 3.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
That was the final conflict where he was running for office.
He was the bad guy in like a boat movie with Billy Zane and
was this like on Netflix or something fairly recently?
No, it was a while ago. Yeah, that's where I first discovered him. He was sort of like I was like, this guy's got an interesting sort of look to him. It was Billy Zane, and I want to say it was
Dead Calm.
Dead Calm. Yeah, who's the girl in that?
Dead Calm is Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman. Yeah. Yeah, it was like before she was Nicole Kidman.
Okay.
Yeah.
1989.
Yeah, yeah.
It was an Australian film, so
okay, that makes sense. Yeah, but Billy Zane and this guy, sort of, yeah. Well, man. But yeah, Sam Neill passed away.
And then Connor told us that his first name was Nigel. Nigel John Dermot Neal.
Nigel Neal?
Yeah, Sir Nigel Neal.
So he was knighted?
I guess.
Yeah.
Oh.
Knighted by New Zealand.
Oh.
And England.
Wow.
He was
double knight.
He was born in Ireland and then moved to New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, played an American.
Yeah,
in the Jurassic
You know what's
Park.
amazing about those foreign actors with accents? They can pull off an American accent like no one's business.
Right.
But very hard for an American to pull off a British accent. Like, who's the actor? Damien.
Yeah, I was going to say
Damien
Sergeant
Lewis?
Winters. Yes.
Damien Lewis, who's in that movie Pressure about D-Day and the weatherman. That guy, when he speaks in his normal British accent, you're like, what? What are you talking about? That's not you.
Right.
And it's this thick British accent, but when he speaks as an American, it sounds totally normal.
Idris Elba's also good at that, too.
Idris Elba, you're like, when he's talking in his British accent, you're like,
that's not his voice.
No, it's weird.
Is
it's
it like
this.
Tom Holland or something? Too people don't believe him. They're like, you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's almost like.
Yeah, what
when
kind
he's
of
playing
fake
Peter
accent
Parker.
are you putting on in this
You're like,
interview?
no, this is really how I talk.
Yeah, no, it's very strange. But there was a boxer. There was an African American boxer, or I guess a European American or a European African boxer, back in the day, and he had this very thick British accent. It's just it was jarring to see him and not expect a British accent coming from him. I don't know. It's just this is very strange. I mean, the only American that I think that's pulled off a British accent is Renee Zellweger and
Bridget Jones.
Bridget Jones'
And then
Diary.
how come when they sing, their accent is lost in, or you don't hear an accent in music? You know what I mean? Like if these is a singer
Like the
British or
Beatles.
American? Yeah, like
The
when you
Beatles don't
when
sound
you
like they're
sing, you
singing.
don't have a British. Everybody, you can't
Sounds the
detect an
same.
accent.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah. Sam Neill was the husband in Deadcom, not the bad guy. Billy Zane was the psycho. Great flick. Thank you. Thank you for correcting me. Wasn't Sam Neill the president in National Treasure? I don't believe so. And it's maybe in the second one or the third one? Is that's the one with Nicolas Cage, right?
The first two.
Yeah.
Is Nicolas Cage.
Okay. Did you know that Nicolas Cage is in this Netflix series, or one of them? Spider Noir?
Spider Noir, yeah. He played that character in the Spider-Verse movies, and then he's like, I want to do this.
Oh, okay. And it's apparently getting a lot. It just got some Emmy nominations.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Good to know. Did I miss something? Did the lead get buried? Did Rose attend a show alone?
See, that's the reason I said it.
She didn't mention who she went with.
Oh, actually, I went with a fellow on-air personality at another radio station. Us two gals chummed it up. Yeah.
Fraternizing with the enemy?
Actually, no, not necessarily enemy. It's FM, and it's music.
Still
It's
enemy.
classic rock. Hence the John Anderson tickets.
Oh, I see. So
when someone
had to be
invites
nice
you to
her
a show.
because she got the tickets for you.
Obviously.
Okay, all right, yeah. I was going to say
You can
didn't
say hi to Michelle. It's not a big deal.
you didn't get the John Anderson tickets from the KTRS prize closet, did you?
No, sure did not.
No, that's true.
Ooh, God, where is that prize closet?
It's empty. It has like 3 pens and some yellow pads of notepaper in there. 629. I think it's 6:30 here. Let's check in with Connor McCarthy, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, the president in National Treasure was Bruce Greenwood.
Bruce Greenwood. Yeah, he always plays a good. Yeah. Yeah.
Authority figure.
Good call, Connor McCarthy.
All right, on the roads, not much traffic to report on right now. We do have some road work on 70 westbound before David Hochul Parkway in the left lane, closing down the left lane. All other lanes open. Even that's not causing too much traffic right now. All green across the board as we get into the morning. This traffic report is brought to you by Fielder Electric. See what everyone is saying about the pros at Fielder Electric. Whether it's a new build or a 100-year-old home, Fielder Electric has you covered. From the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
70 degrees right now. Yes, from the text line, Lennox Lewis was the boxer you're thinking of. Yes. Yeah, Lennox Lewis would talk, and you were like, whoa. You weren't expecting a British accent from a boxer. But anyway. All right, weather is today we're sunny skies, 89, plenty of sunshine, humidity better than it was last week, but still up there, up over 50%. Overnight tonight, low of 69. Tomorrow, again, more sunshine, high of 92. Wednesday, more of the same. High humidity, high of 92. Very small chance of rain, maybe a pop-up thunderstorm or two along the way. It is 70 right now at 6:31. Let's go to the newsroom. Once again, here's Rose Dalton.
Senator Lindsey Graham, one of President Donald Trump's closest allies in Congress, who traveled the globe to advocate for a more aggressive U.S. foreign policy, died after a tear in his aorta, according to a preliminary medical examiner finding shared by his office. Graham turned 71 years old just 2 days before dying on Saturday night. A massive fire has devastated a music bar in Bangkok, killing at least 27 people and critically injuring 25 others. The cause of the weekend fire is being investigated. In local headlines, no injuries were reported after a Missouri State Highway Patrol rescue boat overturned on the Black River in Reynolds County over the weekend. Officials say the outboard motor of the boat became entangled with a submerged line and 2 troopers were thrown into the water. Missouri Task Force 1's mission to help with flood recovery efforts in southeast Missouri is almost complete. The search and rescue team deployed on Friday and conducted searches for more than 100 damaged homes, more than 90 damaged campers, and more than 120 damaged vehicles, while supporting recovery efforts in Reynolds and Iron counties. The team will return to Boone County later today. 68 degrees. Time now is 6:32. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Okay, so one more passed away over the weekend that didn't get a lot of attention. Randy Mantooth.
Oh, right.
Randolph,
911 or that
Emergency. Yeah, Randy
With
Mantooth.
Tig, whatever his name is. Who's the blonde dude? Chris Teague or
Oh,
Kevin Tig?
You mean the character or the actor?
Sorry, excuse me. Sorry, the actor.
Randy Mantooth was John Gage.
Okay.
And 1 on 12, 1 on 12. We have a 311 in progress.
Man.
And then, of course, it was a BP 120 over 80 with a lactate ringer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mantooth. Randy Mantooth. No, nobody gets out of this alive.
Mm-mm.
I didn't mention this earlier, but I was actually kind of friendly with Randy Mantooth.
What?
That's why you call him Randy instead of Randolph.
You guys are on a...
Randy Mantooth, when I was out of college, living in Denver, Colorado, believe it or not, he was doing a play in Denver, and he was living in my apartment complex. And we became kind of, we'd see each other get in the mail, and I was like, oh, hey. You're Randy Mantooth. He's like, yeah, how you doing? I'm like, what are you doing today? He's like, oh, I'm doing a play. So, yeah, I went and saw the play, and, I mean, we weren't like drinking buddies or anything, but I passed him in the hall, and he was very nice.
Huh.
Yeah. He was also a big soap opera star, too.
I would think so. He's got
at some
those
point,
chiseled, handsome features that are perfect for soap.
He passed away on Friday.
Mantooth.
Randy Mantooth. 6:33, Big 550, KTRS. Let's talk Medicare Man. MedicareManSTL.com. MedicareManSTL.com. What do you need to know? You need to know that if you're turning 65, guess what? Medicare Man Ryan Raphael is there to help you. You have a lot of questions. You have a lot of things you need to determine as you approach 65. What are you going to do when it comes to Medicare? And just know this, that no matter what you've been told, it's probably wrong. Friends, neighbors, acquaintances, TV commercials, there's so much misinformation out there. Don't even think about going to social media and asking Twitter what you should do about your health insurance when it comes to Medicare. But there is somebody you can trust, and that's Ryan Raphael. Every single day he gets phone calls from people with wrong information. It's an epidemic out there. Where do you go and get the right information? Ryan Raphael. He'll explain to you what your options are, and then you can make an informed decision. Are you over 65? Well, if you're over 65, then, of course, you've got some decisions to make. If you're already currently on Medicare, do you like the plan? How come you hear about all these other plans? Again, the information you've been told is probably wrong. So don't make a decision based on wrong information. Call Ryan Raphael, 314-368-6808 or MedicareManSTL.com.
Are you ready to begin your home purchase journey in 2026? The Royal Banks of Missouri Mortgage Team is here to help you every step of the way. Their local lenders offer competitive rates and personalized support so you can focus on creating the space of your dreams. Discover how Royal Banks of Missouri can partner with you to unlock the door to your new home. Call 314-212-1500 to learn how they can help find the right home loan for you. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Hey, St. Louis, temperatures are rising, and if your AC isn't blowing cold enough, trust the experts at AAA Home Services. For 56 years, they've been fixing it right the first time. Our expert technicians are qualified to work on any system with any issue. We can even perform your annual maintenance on your air conditioner before it gets too hot. And if you need an estimate on a new system, we can do that too. For 56 years, St. Louis has trusted AAA for heating and cooling, electrical, plumbing, and appliance repair needs. Call 636-397-3200. Online at AAASTL.com. Call AAA. We're on our way.
Your yard, your workday, your John Deere. At Side & Sugar Nobe Partners, get the mowing power you need with low financing options on John Deere Zero Turns. For a limited time, choose 0% financing for 36 months or 1.9% financing for 60 months on Z700, Z900, and Quick Track commercial mowers. Plus, get additional cash off select mowers. Side & Sugar Nobe, your partner for the land.
Offer valid through 6/1/2026. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Ask any designer, and they'll tell you lighting is key. It's Heidi, and you can completely transform your home with Nora Lighting, which is available at my go-to store, Metro Lighting. From recessed to under cabinet lighting, Nora helps brighten every corner beautifully. Visit Metro Lighting St. Louis area showrooms to explore all the Nora Lighting solutions, or check them out online at metrolightingcenters.com.
Aluminum shapes the world around us, keeping our homes cool, our cars moving, and our supply chains humming. From their global headquarters in St. Louis, Metal Exchange has been helping to make it happen for over 50 years. But they're more than an aluminum company.
At their core, Metal Exchange takes a we before me approach by putting people first at work and in our community. That's why this month they're teaming up with Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis for Christmas in July, collecting toys and bringing joy to local families. Learn more about how Metal Exchange is impacting our world at metalexchange.com.
I'm Reed Millard, president of Lupton Millard Chapel of St. Louis. We've been faithfully serving St. Louis families for generations. At Lupton Millard Chapel, we understand it's the little things that make a big difference for the families we serve. A traditional church funeral or a unique celebration of life. Providing the finest in services and attention to detail has always been the hallmark of our family.
Lupton Millard Chapel, the leader in excellence since 1905. For more information, go to LuptonMillardChapel.com.
Hi, it's Julie Buck. You know, many people know Rankin Jordan Pediatric Bridge Hospital for its inpatient services, but its outpatient therapy program is also helping children thrive. Specializing in care for children with complex medical needs, Rankin Jordan offers physical, occupational, speech, and aquatic therapy in a welcoming, fun environment. The hospital is also home to the region's only warm water pediatric therapy pool, and parents can get in too. To find out more, talk to your doctor or visit rankinjordan.org.
Live from Studio 550, this is The McGraw Show on KTRS.
Lots of eulogies coming in over Lindsey Graham, senator from South Carolina. Here, Hunter Biden chimes in on Lindsey Graham. Listen to this. This is from Hunter Biden on Twitter. When I heard about Senator Graham's death last night, the first thing I thought about was not all the things he said and did in service of Donald Trump. I thought about the time before Donald Trump when he was a brother to Senator John McCain. A time when senators from different parties could fight about policies and still be friends. A time when a conservative Republican from South Carolina could say of my father, if you can't admire Joe Biden as a person, you've got a problem. He's the nicest person I've ever met in politics, as good a man as God ever created. That is the Senator Graham I will remember today, not because I have forgotten what came before, because in that memory there is hope. Hope for a country where brothers can fight like heck over policy and still share a meal and laugh and the loss of people they love. I choose to remember the time before Trump. I believe in America after Trump. Lindsey Graham, Hunter Biden, I should say, giving a eulogy of, or at least making his 2 cents known with the passing of Lindsey Graham. All right, we'll talk to that a little bit later on. We've got Ben Siegel coming up, talk about what happens next in South Carolina. Who's throwing their hat in the ring? Somebody mentioned Stephen Colbert, who was from South Carolina. I'm not so sure. I mean, I'm assuming he would run as a Democrat, but I don't think a Democrat's got much of a chance in South Carolina. So we'll see what happens with that. Ben Siegel is going to join us about that. The mechanisms of power, and they're going to have to appoint somebody or have a special election. Plus, he was up for re-election in the fall. So how long is this special session, this appointed person going to run for?
Well, they're thinking that the governor's going to appoint the person that was going to run, so he would be an incumbent rather than
when he runs. Yeah,
right.
Steve Roberts is going to talk about the legacy of Lindsey Graham. Peter Harlamboos a little bit later on. Let's talk about the New York Times. Their reporters continuing to get subpoenaed from the Trump administration. Peter Harlamboos has got that story. Mike Dubusky's got EV sales. Brady Carricker is going to talk a little sports. Catherine Hanaway going to talk about the Mark Twain Hotel that is downtown and been somewhat of a blight on the area, if you will. And so she wants to shut it down, and so we'll check in with her in the 9 o'clock hour. So we got all that going on. All gloom and doom today. All about who died, who didn't die. Also, programming note, we are going to be getting on people who are for and against Amendment 5. I found people who are for and against Amendment 4, so we'll be getting all those people on
next week.
But there's an interesting editorial in the Post-Dispatch about Amendment 5, and that is the income tax. Missouri voters are going to go to the polls in August and vote on whether or not to do away with the income tax. And one of the interesting things in this legislation is that if the Amendment 5 is successful and the income tax goes away in that legislation, according to the Post-Dispatch editorial, you're not allowed to bring back an income tax. They can't bring it back.
Ever?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't work, it just, you're stuck with it.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the biggest red flag I've ever, like using these definitive words like never and never.
Yeah, I thought
and
that
no
was, I mean, they're really going all in on this no income tax deal. Let me read for you. Missouri voters pass Amendment 5 on August 4th. A newly empowered legislature then gradually reduces and then finally eliminates the state's 4.7 top income tax rate based on revenue growth as specified in the amendment. At the same time, and as authorized by the amendment, lawmakers approve expansion of the sales and the use tax base and an increase in the state sales and use tax to help offset the lost revenue from the elimination of the income tax. They do not have to go back to the voters to do that. Under the amendment, they can just unilaterally do that to any level they want, right? So once this passes, the income tax goes away. They can change the sales tax or the use tax in any way, shape, or form at their discretion, okay? Which is what we've been saying all along. Let's see here. Where was the other one here? I'll find it for you here. It's later on. I'll find it here. Let's do this. Let's go to traffic and weather. We'll find it. 6:45. St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
All right, McGraw, we're going to have some construction here on 70 westbound at Hochul Parkway. That's right past the 70-64 merge to the west. That'll be going on throughout the day today, closing down the left lane there. Already causing a bit of a slowdown there, so if you're heading out west, you can expect a bit of traffic. This traffic report is brought to you by Fielder Electric. See what everyone is saying about the pros at Fielder Electric. Whether it's a new build or a 100-year-old home, Fielder Electric has you covered. From the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
Monday brings another sunny day with a high of 87. Clear skies Monday night will drop to 70. And more sunny and dry weather for Tuesday with a high of 89. Generally sunny and dry weather expected all week, but it will get a little bit warmer. Highs in the low 90s return starting on Wednesday. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Kristen Cornett for the Big 550 KTRS.
Okay, according to the Post-Dispatch editorial, the state legislature and lawmakers, they cannot undo the income tax cut that they instituted because, per the amendment, quote, upon the elimination of the individual income tax, the General Assembly shall be prohibited from enacting or imposing any state individual income tax. So once it's gone for good, which I thought was kind of interesting. That's a nice little nugget of information. So there you go. Once you vote it out, it's dead, it's buried, never to be brought up again. So there. Johnny Londoff Chevrolet, you need a new vehicle? Johnny Londoff's got vehicles, brand new vehicles for you, absolutely. Whether it's a brand new Suburban, a Tahoe, maybe you see those nice Blazers out there, the Silverado trucks, the Colorado trucks, they got them all out there at Johnny Londoff, not to mention the tracks they're selling like hotcakes out there. They've got brand new Chevys with great financing, great deals, as always. Pre-owned vehicles, they got Car Bravo that comes with better financing, and they put on all sorts of guarantees on those cars. They got great late models, whether it's at the Washington Elizabeth exit or at the Autoplex. Service, I know some of you may not have purchased your vehicle from Johnny Londoff. Shame on you, but that's okay. That car's going to break down just like all cars break down, and when you need service, bring it to Johnny Londoff so you can see just how great they are when it comes to their service departments. They got 2 locations, squeaky clean, buttoned up, top-notch, professional. You know you're getting the right deal when it comes to Johnny Londoff and the service department. Financing, yeah, they'll help you all the way from soup to nuts, from beginning to end. Johnny Londoff Chevrolet. Londoff has been selling cars in St. Louis for 85 years. What does that tell you? That tells you it's a great company that's taking care of St. Louisans for all these many decades. Johnny Londoff Chevrolet or Londoff.com. Together, let's drive Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
Looking for a smarter, safer way to invest? For a limited time, lock in a great rate with Together Credit Union's 11-month CD special. From day one, your return on investment is guaranteed. No market swings, no surprises, just a competitive fixed rate that steadily grows your deposit. Make your money work harder with a financial partner that puts you first. Visit a Together Credit Union branch near you or go online to togethercu.org to learn more. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
I trust Pella Windows and Doors of St. Louis to help improve my home when it matters most. It's not just Pella's high-quality windows and doors. It's the local experts who know the St. Louis area so well. For a limited time, get 20% off Pella projects or 0% no payments, no interest if paid in full within 24 months. Call 833-87-PELLA or visit Pella.com/radio to learn more. 833-87-PELLA or Pella.com/radio. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Looking for a new kitchen or bath? Call me, Anne-Marie Boges, the co-host of the Inside Out Show and owner and designer at Anne-Marie Design Studio. Visit our website at annemariestudio.com. We can help make your dream space into a reality. We're a fine kitchen and bath boutique located in Wildwood. We do it all, from design to bid to installation too. Call us today at 636-821-3395 or go online at annemariestudio.com. Let's make your dream kitchen or bath a reality with Anne-Marie Design Studio.
Summer in St. Louis means oppressive heat and humidity. Now is the time to take advantage of Aldon Heating and Cooling's $79 AC check with a free home air quality snapshot. And summer is allergy season. Now's the time to take advantage of Aldon's $200 off an allergy relief package, which includes an air scrubber and filtration system. Book your appointment now as spaces are filling up fast. Certain restrictions apply. And for information on a state-of-the-art dike and fit system, visit al-don.com.
When you pay for tree work, you want to be sure you're getting the most for your hard-earned money. That's why you should always use the ISA certified arborist at River City Tree Service in Baldwin, Missouri. Hi, I'm Steve with River City Tree Service, and we've been the go-to tree service since 2008. Tree removal, tree trimming, storm damage, deadwood removal, stump grinding, and more. Give River City Tree Service a call for all your tree service needs at 314-270-8071. That's 314-270-8071. River City Tree Service.
The heat of summer has arrived with humidity, dew points, and constant hydration. But it's always cool and comfortable at Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant. Whether it's summer camp, cooling off at the pool, or just relaxing in the shade, Gingham's is a great way to start or finish any day. Just add us to your to-do list. The management and staff at Gingham's would like to wish our customers and friends a safe and enjoyable summer, and to the United States of America, a very happy 250th birthday. Gingham's Restaurant St. Charles or ginghamsrestaurant.com.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
Lindsey Graham passes away, and while the eulogies come in and we talk about the man's legacy, there is a ghoulish side to this story, and that is what happens now when a sitting senator passes away while in office and just months away from a re-election campaign. Ben Siegel, ABC News Deputy Political Director, joins us to talk about the moving parts. Ben, good morning.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
You got it. So what happens next?
It's a bit of a two-step now in South Carolina. We're going to be hearing from Governor Henry McMaster, who at any moment could appoint somebody to serve out the remainder of Graham's term in the Senate until the fall. And Graham was also on the ballot, as you noted, in November for another term. So that process, we have some clarity on now. There will be a special election to replace him on the ballot in August 11th, and there will be no shortage of Republicans looking for that seat, given how long, Graham served, a quarter century. So this is a pretty coveted role, but those two dynamics will play out as Republicans try to fill the void left by Lindsey Graham.
So let me make sure I understand this. The upcoming election, the Republicans are going to hold a primary in South Carolina to see who's on the general election ballot come November for that Senate seat.
That's correct.
Yeah. And then the governor is any moment now is going to appoint a Republican. Any idea who that might be?
The thinking is that it's going to be somebody who is going to serve as a caretaker, not necessarily someone who will run for that seat again in the fall. Some of the names that have been circulating have included Trey Gowdy, the former congressman from South Carolina. Another name was actually Lindsey Graham's sister, has been circulating out there, someone who could carry on his legacy for the remainder of the term. The lieutenant governor, Pamela Evett, who ran for governor and came in second in the runoff, is another name, who is somebody obviously aligned with Henry McMaster, the governor of that state. But it'll be interesting to see if this person does indeed fit that mold of the typical caretaker that we've seen historically, just filling out the term, or if it is somebody who has designs on keeping the seat past November. My guess would be the former, not the latter, but that all depend on what the governor announces.
Yeah, once the governor appoints whoever he announced, that person can then run in that general runoff, right, in August. There's nothing that says they can't run.
That's correct. There's nothing stopping them. So, but of course, the governor is going to be doing his homework and is aware of all those realities. And if he wants somebody who will just serve out the term, that's something that he will, pretty likely get an answer on from people who are running there. And one interesting dynamic that we've also seen is that the House majority for Republicans is so narrow that we've already seen some members of the Congress from South Carolina, Republicans, say that they are not interested in the Senate seat. And I'm sure Speaker Mike Johnson behind the scenes is encouraging McMaster not to pick somebody from his delegation because, they only have a 2-vote cushion in the House, so they really can't afford to lose anybody there. So that's another interesting dynamic that we've seen play out.
What about the Democrats? Who's running on the Democratic side of that campaign?
Well, we know from 2020, Democrats put a lot of money into the state, hoping to flip it against Lindsey Graham. and that was not successful. This is such a red state. Donald Trump won 60% of the vote, if not more, in 2024. Annie Andrews is the Democratic candidate, a doctor who's running against Lindsey Graham. She had a message of condolence for his loss, but this seat is still very red. Even though it's an open Senate seat in November, we do not expect it to be in play for Democrats.
Somebody floated the idea of a Stephen Colbert who's not doing anything. Nice idea, but I'm not so sure there's a path any way, shape, or form for him.
I think that's right. Other than the fact that he is from South Carolina, the state holds a place in his heart. I think you or I would probably have a better chance of winning that Senate seat in South Carolina than Stephen Colbert at this point. But that always happens, right? We saw Patrick Dempsey's name get floated for the Maine Senate seat. There's always somebody from Hollywood that people like to float in these circumstances. That doesn't mean they can win a seat in the Senate.
Yes, McDreamy, senator from Maine. That's got a nice ring to it. I guess Colbert Colbert could run as a Republican if he wanted to in that Senate seat, and then sort of see what happens. But it is interesting. But all accounts are that the governor of South Carolina is going to appoint one here in the next day or two.
I think that's right. That's right. We're going to get an answer on this sooner rather than later.
Ben Siegel, ABC News. Good stuff. Thanks for reading the tea leaves for us.
Thanks.
Coming up here in just about after top of the hour news, Stephen Roberts is going to talk about the legacy of Lindsey Graham and the man who passed away over the weekend. People were saying very different things when the man was alive on Friday than what they're saying on Monday when the man has passed away. Stephen Roberts will have that sort of primer for us coming up here in about 10 minutes or so. St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center. Here's Connor McCarthy.
All right, McGraw, roads looking mostly clear out there right now. The one problem is 70 westbound on Hochul Parkway. That's right past the 70-64 merge. If you're heading out west, there is road construction that is now causing a pretty serious slowdown on 70 westbound leaving St. Charles. This traffic update is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, give a shout out to the 314. So nice to hear the gang at the Big 550 KTRS. My case of the Mondays disappears listening to you guys. Thanks for all you do. How about that? Yeah. Will the full scripture be on the ballot or just the highlights? I don't know what that means. Are they talking about Amendment 5?
Depends on what the Secretary of State puts on
there.
Yeah,
the whole amendment is, however many pages. They don't put that on the ballot. There's going to be a highlight, if you will. But Amendment 5 is the amendment where it's out there. You can find it. But it's not going to be on the ballot, no. There is a highlighted portion of it. But basically, Amendment 5 is the amendment where they are going to do away with the income tax and then replace it with a sales tax or a use tax, exempting some businesses. So picking winners and losers, I guess, or something. But yeah, that's the whole idea. From all the polling I'm seeing, it's pretty neck and neck. It's going to be a battle royale. I think it's going to be a close vote one way or the other. I don't know which way it's going to go. But as we said earlier, we're going to have both positive. We've already had positives and negatives, with the pros and the cons on. We will continue to have pros and cons on everything up until Election Day. It is 7 o'clock. KTRS, St. Louis.
This has been the talk of St. Louis for 30 years, and we aren't stopping now. We are the Big 550, KTRS, St. Louis. Depend on it.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Good morning. There's more of a shooting war between the U.S. and Iran. Iran hit a container ship in the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. fired missiles at Iran. Iran fired missiles at Jordan, Kuwait, Oman, and Qatar. It could raise gasoline prices again because oil prices have jumped. ABC's Selena Wang.
The U.S. blaming Iran for those continued attacks on ships in the Strait. U.S. U.S. officials had expected Iran to publicly commit to stop attacking ships in the Strait after weekend negotiations in Oman. But instead, Iran says it opened fire after several ships used unapproved routes and ignored warnings from its Navy. And now declaring it's closing the strait until the end of American interventions in this region.
More Israeli air attacks on Gaza City. At least 6 Palestinians killed, including a 9-year-old girl. A dozen others were wounded, say Palestinian health officials. The Israeli military says it targeted terrorist infrastructure. Violent storms, flooding from Pennsylvania to Missouri, and extreme heat across much of the nation. In Philadelphia, Mayor Sherelle Parker.
We saw utility poles literally split in half like matchsticks.
A state of emergency declared in Philadelphia after fast-moving microburst storms tore through the city. Straight-line wind gusts of up to 70 miles per hour, ripping roofs off buildings and downing hundreds of trees, many landing on cars.
It was shocking because the car just got paid off.
ABC's Hannah Battah. And early estimates suggest more than 2,700 people died in England and Wales during May and June heat waves, say British health officials. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham died from a ruptured aorta from heart disease, says preliminary info from the medical examiner. A statement explaining his absence from the Senate, Kentucky's Mitch McConnell says he had a fall. He was in the hospital, now in rehab. You're listening to ABC News.
Onyx, I keep having stomach issues. Please make me a doctor's appointment.
Okay, are you suffering from diarrhea, bloating, gas, or oily stools? If so, you may want to ask your doctor if it could actually be a problem with your pancreas, called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI.
My pancreas? How is EPI treated?
A prescription medicine like Creon, pancrelipase, is used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes. Creon is the #1 prescribed treatment for EPI.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. You can learn more at 1-800-633-9110.
Before your appointment, visit creoninfo.com. That's CREON info.com.
Hey, St. Louis, temperatures are rising, and if your AC isn't blowing cold enough, trust the experts at AAA Home Services. For 56 years, they've been fixing it right the first time. Our expert technicians are qualified to work on any system with any issue. We can even perform your annual maintenance on your air conditioner before it gets too hot. And if you need an estimate on a new system, we can do that too. For 56 years, St. Louis has trusted AAA for heating and cooling, electrical, plumbing, and appliance repair needs. Call 636-397-3200. Online at AAASTL.com. Call AAA. We're on our way.
.68 degrees at 7:03. Here's what's happening now. 5 people are dead and 2 others are injured after a mass shooting in East St. Louis targeting members of a family. Police say shots were fired at 3 separate locations Sunday morning. 2 teenagers are in Illinois State Police custody. A child is dead following a drowning in southwest Missouri. The Missouri State Highway Patrol says a 3-year-old girl from Kansas City, Kansas, entered the Elk River at Tucson's Beach late Saturday night without a safety device and drowned. The child was pronounced dead at the scene. Illinois State Police conducted a violent crime suppression detail in St. Clair, Madison counties. KTRS's Brendan Wiese has details.
This went down on July 8th and 9th. The operation focused on known high crime areas, violent offenders, and structured criminal groups. It resulted in 13 arrests, 18 total charges, 15 of those felonies, 10 were firearm related. I'm Brendan Wiese, KTRS News.
Illinois has a new law which bans AI use for teacher evaluations. Senate Bill 2909 was signed into law on Friday. It will prevent school administrators from using AI to write teacher evaluations. The use of AI while writing these evaluations brings up many transparency and privacy concerns for teachers. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. 68 degrees. Time now is 7:05. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
The legacy of Lindsey Graham is long, interesting, with twists and turns. Stephen Roberts, ABC News political analyst, comes to join us to talk about the life and legacy of Lindsey Graham. Stephen Roberts, thanks for joining us. Lindsey Graham, an interesting character that had many lives and many friends.
True.
You know, he was probably the single most visible member of the U.S. Senate, the most recognizable to ordinary folks, even folks who don't cover politics. He was supposed to be on Meet the Press yesterday. It would have been his 64th appearance on that show on NBC. He was on Face the Nation on CBS almost 100 times. Folks estimate he was on TV thousands of times. He was so well known that even Saturday Night Live lampooned him at least twice. Now, that's really a mark of you've arrived in the media universe when you're recognizable enough to be made fun of on Saturday Night Live. By the way, those portraits were not friendly. They were scathing because to his critics, Graham was a shapeshifter, an opportunist. He came to politics as a fierce critic of Donald Trump. He called him a xenophobic, racist bigot during the campaign of 2015 when Graham himself ran very briefly and very unsuccessfully for the Republican nomination. But once Trump was in office, Graham became his biggest friend. And Graham was pretty open about his transformation, which is he wanted to be relevant. He wanted to be influential. He wanted to be in the center of things. And to do that, he had to be a friend of Donald Trump, who was running the Republican Party. And it cost Graham in some ways because his instincts were to be bipartisan. Early in his career, he worked with Democrats on all sorts of issues, judgeships, criminal justice reform, and immigration. He was very close to Democrats like Senator Lieberman of Connecticut. They traveled the world. He was very much a foreign policy hawk. But once he became an acolyte and an ally of Donald Trump, he assumed a much more hardline, much more partisan posture. But he did this because he wanted to be the center of attention, and he succeeded in doing that.
Let's talk about that for an instant because it's really interesting. He was, if anything, and something he never wavered on, was his support of NATO, his foreign policy hawkish. He was a supporter of Ukraine, Israel. And to influence President Trump, he decided you had to influence him from the inside, and the only way to work on for the inside is to, quote unquote, become his friend. And so he befriended him so he could move him. And you could argue that he did move the administration in some way, shape, or form.
I think that's true. And I think that particularly, as you say, on foreign policy, because Trump, very inexperienced in foreign policy, became president and has wavered back and forth from use of American power in places like Iran to being very denigrating toward NATO and international allies. And you're right in saying that Graham, who, by the way, had been a military lawyer, he had a military background and was in the military for a long time, and was an extremely staunch supporter of NATO and international alliances and the larger idea of the use of American power. And Trump at times agreed with that, and at times he wavered. But Graham never wavered. And one of the most interesting things is that really the last issue he worked on just literally hours before his death was to announce a bipartisan agreement with two Democratic senators, Blumenthal of Connecticut and Shaheen of New Hampshire, on a bill that they were putting into reinforce the sanctions against Russia to try to force them to back off their invasion of Ukraine. And so, and that was an issue he kind of disagreed with Trump about because Trump often wavered in his support of Ukraine and was insulting towards Zelensky, the Ukrainian leader, often, but not Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham believed in the use of American power for good. And he never lost, even as he became a hardline Trump supporter. There was still that impulse to work with Democrats that he had shown earlier in his career. And at the end, he came back to that principle that particularly on foreign policy, it was important to preserve a measure of bipartisanship.
Stephen Roberts, real quick, and you know this better than anybody, covering all these politicians for all these years. When the cameras are off, The Lindsey Grahams and the Joe Bidens are dear friends. When the cameras are on, they're at each other's throats. America doesn't see that. America sees this and sort of takes the bait, if you will. But these elected officials, when the cameras are off, are they not some of the closest friends across party lines?
I think that's true up to a point, but I think it used to be a lot more true than it is today. And one of the reasons is that a lot of members used to bring their families to Washington. I'm living right now, I'm sitting right now in a house my in-laws, both of whom were members of Congress, Democratic members of Congress, bought in 1952. Their next-door neighbors were Republicans. My late wife, Cokie, went to elementary school. Her best friend was the daughter of Bill Miller, who was Barry Goldwater's running mate in 1964. There were these threads of connections through schools, churches, neighborhoods that increase that sense of personal connection. When Betty Ford was planning her own funeral, she asked Cokie to speak at her funeral because she wanted a Democrat, a daughter of her Democratic friends, to talk about the relationship between their families. It's still true today when the cameras go off, but not nearly as true as it used to be. And that's one of the reasons, because the families don't move to Washington and they don't know each other on a personal basis.
Stephen Roberts, we'll leave it there. Good stuff, Stephen. Thanks for checking in. Have a good week.
Okay, pal.
You got it. 712, Big 550, KTRS.
Calling all Metro East residents. The weather may be unpredictable, but that doesn't mean your home comfort has to be. From emergency heating and cooling emergencies and repairs to new systems and yearly maintenance checks, you can feel confident that you're ready for whatever Mother Nature throws at you with the help from the friends at Viviano. Get quality, reliable service every time, any season. Go to their website, vivianoair.com. That's vivianoair.com. Trane, the most reliable name in heating and cooling around. It's hard to stop a train.
A new way of banking is a touch away at Royal Banks of Missouri. Gone are the days of rushing to the bank before closing time. Visit their interactive teller machines to receive live assistance from a real Royal Banks employee, even in the evenings and on Saturdays. Whether you need to make a deposit, loan payment, or anything in between, you can enjoy simple, secure banking support with a friendly face you know and trust. Visit RoyalBanksofMo.com to find an ITM near you. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
For the first time in a generation, the World Cup is back on North American soil. From St. Louis City SC to the global stage, there's never been a more exciting time to be a soccer fan in the Lou. Just like a championship team needs a game plan, your retirement deserves one too. At Means Financial Group, we help individuals and families build retirement strategies designed for confidence and clarity. Learn more at meansfinancialgroup.com. Means Financial Group. Planning for what retirement means to you.
Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. Summer in St. Louis means your air conditioner basically clocks in with a full-time job. And if your AC is 15, 20, or maybe even 25 years old, it could be working a whole lot harder and costing you a whole lot more than it should. A newer, high-efficiency system from Premier Heating and Cooling can cut cooling costs dramatically compared to older units. In some homes, upgrading from a 20-year-old air conditioner to a modern, high-efficiency system can reduce energy use by 20 to 40%. And even a professional clean and check tune-up can improve efficiency, airflow, and help your system keep up during brutal heat waves. Add in a smart thermostat, and the Department of Energy says homeowners can save another 10% a year on heating and cooling costs. So before your old AC taps out during the hottest week of the summer, call the highly trained team at Premier Heating and Cooling. Financing options available. 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
This is the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.
Live and local.
Depend on it.
St. Louis, Classic Company Traffic Center. Let's get a look at your commute. Here's Captain Paul.
All right, McGraw, the commute is looking smooth, like very smooth right now as we get into the morning. No traffic out on the roads right now to speak of. No accidents or incidents either causing any slowdowns. One point of slowdown actually is on 70 westbound, right past the 64-70 merge. That's right past Lake St. Louis. There is going to be road construction on that road on 70 westbound for the rest of the day, closing down the left lane, and it is causing quite a bit of traffic. So if you're heading west, expect some traffic. That's the latest from the St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center. I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
from the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk. Local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
Just what the weather doctor ordered here. A much quieter weather pattern this week. Loads of sunshine and minimal rain chances. Today's forecast, sunny, warm, dry, up to about 87 for the high this afternoon. Humidity really not too bad today. And then clear skies expected tonight, down to 69 early tomorrow morning. More sunshine on tap for Tuesday, too. Just a little bit hotter. We'll be close to 90 tomorrow afternoon. Seasonably hot, we'll call it. From Wednesday into the weekend, the heat index between 95 and 100 each afternoon during that 5-day stretch. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers on the Big 550 KTRS.
Miller Furniture. Looks like Mueller, but you pronounce it Miller. Miller Furniture is their, it's a family here in St. Louis, and they've been selling American-made furniture for coming up on 100 years. The story is very simple. They've been selling quality furniture for all these years, and something happened about the last 15, 20 years when it comes to American manufacturers of furniture. It went overseas, hollowed out large parts of North Carolina and Asheville, and some of those places took it on the chin while these investments went overseas. Well, what came back wasn't American-made quality. It was Chinese-made sort of flat boxes with Allen wrenches. So it's not real furniture. It's I don't know what it is, but looks good, but can't really use it. That's why Miller Furniture in the last 20 years has exploded. Their business has just taken off because they still have that same commitment to excellence. So now they opened up Fairview Heights. They opened up Lake St. Louis. They opened up Ellisville to go along with their Belleville location. Now they have 4 area locations, and they serve the St. Louis metropolitan area in quality American-made furniture as well as mattresses. Looking for a mattress, looking for a box spring, looking for any type of accessory, quality American-made furniture. That's where you go. Miller Furniture, 60 months, same as cash financing, great delivery, great pickup, you name it, they've got it. Miller Furniture, Mueller, MillerFurniture.com.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Every summer, homeowners make plans. A new grill, a backyard project, a family vacation. But what about the upgrades you'll enjoy every single day? If your windows are drafty, difficult to open, or your entry and patio door has seen better days, now is the perfect time to make a change. Renewal by Andersen makes replacing windows and doors simple with beautifully crafted products, professional installation, and a customer experience that's second to none. And right now, you'll save big. Get $1,000 off your patio or entry door purchase and take $400 off each replacement window. All you have to do is call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Again, that's 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
In soccer, a guaranteed win is rare. But in real estate, Gloria Lou makes it happen.
Sell with certainty this summer with Gloria Lou at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. While the world's best score on the field, Gloria scores and sells for you this summer. Her summer upfront guarantee. Gloria will sell your home at 100% of market value, or she'll pay you the difference. Call 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
All right. So listen to this. Do you remember last week when we had the story that Facebook introduced a new artificial intelligence app called Muse? Do you
Yes.
remember this?
On Instagram.
On Instagram, right. And it was, they were going to allow people to take anybody's image from Instagram and manipulate it any way they wanted, right? And we thought to ourselves, oh my goodness, this is horrific, right? Do you remember this story we had? But then we quickly learned how to disable. You had to go into your Instagram and disable the whole thing, and it was 6 different things you had to do to then find the right tab to turn it off so that they wouldn't be able to manipulate any picture that you had posted on Instagram. End of the segment, we went to Stephen Portnoy. Stephen Portnoy said, we said, good morning, Stephen, how you doing? He says, I'm just busy turning my Instagram off so Facebook doesn't take my pictures, right?
Yeah.
Remember this story? Well, listen to this. This came out over the weekend. Just days after Facebook introduced its Muse image AI generator, Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook announced that it is doing a complete U-turn. Under pressure from CAA and SAG-AFTRA, CAA, a big, huge talent agency, and SAG-AFTRA, the union for music and radio and TV and everything else. They announced on Friday that the feature is no longer available on Instagram, admitting they, quote, missed the mark amid privacy concerns over the automatic opt-in for users. So Facebook, after they released this, there was such an outcry that by the end of the week, they brought it down.
When they were launching this, I always picture like the think tank meeting or something.
Yes.
Like nobody said anything like,
Let's see
this
if we
might
can get
be a
away with
little
it.
The smartest people in the world work at Facebook.
Well-
And these idiots couldn't realize that this was going to go over like a lead balloon?
Right.
That's point 6 and 7 of this story. Is that we're us yahoos sitting in St. Louis doing a morning radio show. As soon as we read this, we're like, well, this isn't very good.
Let's take this off our phone.
This is going to be a disaster. And Facebook is so far off the planet, so far away from reality, so far from like living in our world that nobody within Facebook could figure out that this was going to be a disaster and that the people don't want their images on Instagram manipulated in all sorts of ways?
Or are they just trying to see what they can get away with? You know what I mean? Like, it could be a moneymaker. Let's see if it sticks.
I go back. I saw.
Because I refuse to believe they're not that. Like they were like they did not see that this would be
You just
an
thought
issue.
you just thought they didn't care.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just thought.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that very well could
maybe
be.
Maybe somebody was like,
be.
maybe, and they're like, nope. Like there'll be a whistle,
So,
whatever. But
so
yeah, I feel like
KTRS complains, they don't do anything. CAA and SAG-AFTRA complain, then they change their mind.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or the fact that it was universally condemned. That's one of the things. We heard you. We're going to turn it off.
This is my problem with, CAA and SAG-AFTRA sort of stood up for their members, right? When Napster came along, right, the music industry said, this ain't happening yet. And so they were able to sort of beat back Napster and that file sharing, whatever. Newspapers and radio and TV, we don't do that. We allow them to use our content and then make money off of our content and then distort it, abuse it in all sorts of ways. So I don't think the radio, television, and newspapers has done a good job of fighting back against these the scourge of society and social media. I did see Mark Cuban the other day say something I've been saying for a while, and that is he doesn't figure out how these people are going to make back all this money they're spending on artificial intelligence. He's now saying, how are you going to make back the $1 trillion you spent to build this out? Are you going to get it? Are you going to get the $1 billion back by a meme making fun of Lindsey Graham or Donald Trump or Joe Biden? I don't see how they're going to make their money back. I don't get it. So at least other people are now. Mark Cuban, I don't have any credibility in this space, but Mark Cuban's relatively credible, right? I mean, he made his billions off of the internet and off the interwebs. He's now saying he doesn't see how these people are going to make other money back. So be that as it may, Facebook caved finally. And finally, after less than a week, they caved and said, this thing we just rolled out, never mind. Never mind. We're not doing it.
You guys didn't roll over like we thought you would.
Yeah, no, crazy stuff. All right, let's talk Larry Thornton and the window store. Are you looking for windows or are you looking for doors? My neighbor came over, not Larry, my other neighbor came over. We were talking, as neighbors do, and we were anyway, the conversation turned into Larry. He's like, "Oh, I got to call Larry. I'm looking for a new front door." The word's out. You call Larry for a new front door. You call Larry for new windows. You call Larry Thornton for anything windows and doors. Or his son, Joe. 38 years they've been doing it, and they've been doing it right. And they'll treat you just like they treat Larry, and Joe will treat you just like they treat the neighbors, me and Pete and everybody else. 314-739-0002. 314-739-0002. Look, you have lots of options when it comes to windows and doors. None of your options include a St. Louis company like the window store. These are national companies that have a lot of layers of middle management and national advertising buys and all that type of stuff. Window store, simple, easy, and effective. 38 years they've been doing it, and they've been doing it right. So no hard pressure sales, no stomping your feet, no jacking up the price and then trying to reduce it down as you argue about the price. They give you a price. They shake your hand. They say, we hope to hear from you. They're so busy, they don't have time for the hard sale. 314-739-0002, WSWindow.net. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
All right, McGraw, not much traffic on the roads right now. We do have the one spot on 70 westbound past the 70-64 merge past St. Charles. That's due to some regular road construction shutting down the left lane, causing quite a bit of a slowdown. So if you're heading west, expect that. There's also a stalled vehicle on 55 northbound before Merrimack Bottom Road in the right shoulder. All lanes open there, though, not causing too much traffic. This traffic report is brought to you by Fielder Electric. See what everyone is saying about the pros at Fielder Electric. Whether it's a new build or a 100-year-old home, Fielder Electric has you covered. From the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
72 degrees here at the Big 550 KTRS. Hazy, hot, and humid. That's the plan for the next couple of days. High of 89 today. No real chance of rain. Humidity a little bit better than last week, but still up over 50%. Overnight tonight, low of 69. Tomorrow, basically a carbon copy with a high of 91. And on Wednesday, high of 92. 72 right now at 7:30. Back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
This newscast is brought to you by Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man. The United States and Iran each say they control the Strait of Hormuz after attacks over the weekend stretching across the wider Middle East. The latest exchange was sparked by an Iranian attack on a container ship on Sunday in the Strait of Hormuz, a critical waterway for international oil and gas over which Iran has asserted control since the United States and Israel started the war on February 28th. Senator Lindsey Graham's death has sparked a political scramble in South Carolina. As a senior senator and ally of President Donald Trump, Graham was expected to win re-election easily. Now, Governor Henry McMaster must appoint a temporary replacement until January. A special primary will determine the Republican nominee for the general election. In local headlines, a proposed 6-month moratorium on data centers is scheduled to come up for a vote tonight before the St. Charles County Council. The plan, introduced at the June 29th council meeting, would use the county government's Environmental and Health Protection Authority to enact the moratorium throughout the entire county, including inside city boundaries where county regulations don't usually apply. Illinois Treasurer Michael Frerichs will announce the latest round of charitable trust grants for nonprofits throughout the state. That announcement will come during a news conference at 10 this morning. Are you or a family member turning 65? Are you happy with your current plan? For the right plan, call the Medicare man, Ryan Raphael, at 314-368-6808. 68 degrees. Time now is 7:31. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Hey, St. Louis. Whether it be auto, home, life, or business insurance, Alexander Hinton has you covered as a trusted insurance agent of the Big 550, KTRS. Get a quote today with Alexander Hinton and American Family Insurance. Keep your insurance agent local, not managed by a call center, and speak to the same person every time you call.
Save now by calling 314-205-2050. That's 314-205-2050.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Looking for your next favorite place? Head to Big Chief's Roadhouse on historic Route 66 in Wildwood. Relax on the beautiful patio, discover the hidden speakeasy, and enjoy fresh garden-to-table flavors straight from Big Chief's own gardens. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or drinks with friends, there's something for everyone. Visit BigChiefSTL.com, call 636-458-3200, or stop by today and experience one of Route 66 true dining destinations at Big Chief Roadhouse on Route 66.
Summer in St. Louis means oppressive heat and humidity. Now is the time to take advantage of Aldon Heating and Cooling's $79 AC check with a free home air quality snapshot. And summer is allergy season. Now's the time to take advantage of Aldon's $200 off an allergy relief package, which includes an air scrubber and filtration system. Book your appointment now as spaces are filling up fast. Certain restrictions apply. And for information on a state-of-the-art dike and fit system, visit al-don.com.
Kick off the season with a winning team. Choose Hackett Security to watch your home while you're watching the game. Hackett Security has a system to meet every budget. They are a locally owned national security company with on-site 24/7 UL-listed monitoring. Visit HackettSecurity.com or call 314-432-4200. Who will be watching your home while you're watching the game? Hackett Security. They're looking out for you. 314-432-4200. HACKETT. Security.com.
Let's face it, most people are not thinking about planning a funeral, but planning ahead can bring you significant savings by locking in today's prices. Lakeview Funeral Home and Memorial Gardens in Fairview Heights is part of Dignity Memorial. They've been an essential part of the community for generations and believe a funeral service or cremation memorial should be as unique as the person it honors. Receive low interest options on prepaid cremation property and burial plans and up to 10% off cemetery property and funeral plans. Experience the dignity difference. Call Lakeview Funeral Home and Memorial Gardens at 618-233-7200 to schedule a pre-planning appointment. Online at dignitymemorial.com.
McGraw, live in the morning on KTRS.
President Trump keeps complaining about the New York Times, but he keeps being interviewed by the New York Times. And now the Department of Justice is seeking some subpoenas on some New York Times reporters. Peter Harlambous, ABC News, has got the story. Peter, what's the latest here?
4 different New York Times reporters compelled them to appear before a grand jury here in Manhattan by Wednesday. This all comes back to the articles they published last week about the security concerns related to Trump's new Qatari-donated Air Force One. They basically reported that the reason President Trump flew back from Turkey after the G7 on the old Air Force One was because that new Qatari-donated jet lacks certain security features like anti-missile capabilities. That reporting ultimately prompted, according to the Times, these subpoenas on Friday, a really extraordinary step to compel these reporters before a grand jury, and certainly an escalation in the Trump administration's tense relationship with the press.
Strange, because didn't President Trump sort of allude to the fact that it was a security and that's why he had to take the other plane back?
That's right. He was asked about this on the plane itself, and he basically said that Iran was targeting him, that he's the number one target. He's then talked about this on social media, how if they try to assassinate him, he will order a strike unlike anything they've ever seen before. But certainly the specific reporting about the issues with this new Air Force One, President Trump, of course, has spoken about how beautiful the jet is, how it's nicer than any plane that ever existed, certainly caused an uproar, according to some reporting, and led to this increased focus on the Times' reporting. The investigation itself reportedly run by Kash Patel out of the FBI, seeking to determine who actually provided this information to the Times. The Department of Justice, for their part, has defended this, basically saying that the targets of this investigation aren't the reporters themselves, but rather whoever is giving them that information. That being said, the Times is saying that these subpoenas should still, quote, shock the conscience of every American, and argues that this is a brazen attempt to intimidate reporters.
Yeah, so the charge is they want the source of the information.
That's right. They want to figure out who is giving these 4 Times reporters this information about Air Force One. This is an investigation that's forcing them to appear here in New York. Actually, what's interesting is that the U.S. attorney here in Manhattan, Jay Clayton, is Trump's next pick to be the director of national intelligence. So he's still serving as this top federal prosecutor here in Manhattan, and he's the one who signed these subpoenas, ultimately compelling these people to show up in federal court to divulge their sources. Of course, the Times is expected to fight those subpoenas.
Yeah. Any chance of these reporters going to jail over this, or is that a couple steps down the road?
I think that's pretty far along. In the past, we have seen organizations fight these successfully. So, for example, earlier this year, we saw the Times subpoena some reporters from the Washington Post and from the Wall Street Journal. Those were secret, those filings ultimately under seal, but both organizations fought those subpoenas. The Department of Justice ultimately rescinded them. So, rather than them having to appear before a grand jury, refuse to answer questions, possibly face contempt charges, the DOJ ultimately backed down off this. So we'll have to see how this progresses. Of course, we'll be curious to see over the next 48 hours, 78 hours, what we potentially see fighting-wise in New York, whether they try to stop these subpoenas from going forward.
Yeah, interesting. Be careful what you wish for when you find out who the source is. You might not like who the source is when it comes to this type of stuff, but we'll just have to wait and see. Peter Harlambouz, ABC News. Good stuff, Peter. Thanks for checking in, as always.
Thanks so much.
You got 738 here, Big 550 KTRS. Coming up, what do we got coming up? What do we have coming up? Oh, what do we got? Oh, Mike Dubusky. Yeah. EV sales through the roof. Also, breaking news, Rose left the city of St. Louis to go see the Yes concert.
I know.
At the factory. What did you think of the factory?
So I've been there before, and I just say it's like the pageant kind of on steroids.
It's
just
a bigger
version.
Yeah. Same layout, just
side
bigger.
note, and there's plenty of bars, and I was regarding the fact that some of these bars, I mean, like if I worked there, I'd be fighting for shows because like a perfect vantage point. You know, like where you're the bartender, you have a perfect view for the stage.
You mean at the factory?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, there's like 3 bars downstairs, a couple bars upstairs. Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah, it's almost exactly like the pageant, just bigger. Just bigger.
They have a better VIP section in the back on the lower level.
Oh, I didn't.
And they had seats on the lower level. I hadn't been there when they had seats on the lower level. Big seats, like big wide seats.
Yeah.
Plenty of room.
I saw a Billy Joel tribute band there.
Huh.
Venue was nicer than the tribute band. I was like, why am I here? Because I have Billy Joel on my phone. It sounds way better than this fake Billy Joel up on stage.
I think Australian Pink Floyd, I saw a list of the upcoming shows there, which people love their cover bands. I'm just saying it's funny that you're going to pay. I mean, it's a good show, but it's a cover. You know, it's
I don't know. For some reason, a cover band is. I don't mind cover bands as much as I didn't like. Maybe it was just a Billy Joel guy I didn't like. If he just butchered other people's songs as well as Billy Joel, I wouldn't mind. But he only butchered Billy Joel's songs, so it kind of.
Oh no!
Once you see the original, it's hard.
Was he really bad? Or he just wasn't.
I don't know anything about music, so I couldn't tell you. But he wasn't Billy Joel.
Fair enough.
Therefore,
you knew you didn't like it.
Therefore, my $85 was, whatever it was. Yeah, it seemed a little steep for for fake Billy Joel.
The drinks are a skosh pricey, and by a skosh I mean way pricey. So that would be that. I'd say that was probably the
prices
biggest.
everywhere are just this inflation thing is no joke.
No, it's not. I'm not laughing.
It is no joke. Hey, Morelli tuck pointing. I was out driving around yesterday, and as I do, just look at neighborhoods just because that's what I do. And noticed people's bricks and stones, and it was like almost knocked on a couple doors and was like, hey, you need to call Morelli immediately. Look, water wins. That's the truth. And water will flush out the joints. It freezes in there. Once you get a little bit of a weakness in the joint, the water gets in there. It freezes. It pops the joint. You got to get it fixed. Morelli tuck pointing, 314-645-1387. They're the ones you can trust. Look, no one likes to spend money on tuck pointing, but you got to do it or the house will fall down. That's where Morelli comes in, because Morelli will help you and solve the problem. Pricing, they're as inexpensive as anybody in town. Whether the fly-by-nighters who just watched a YouTube video who call themselves tuck pointers, or somebody like John Morelli who's been in this business, the family's been in this business for 3 generations. Morelli is your go-to. Quality, price, customer service, all of it. Morelli, 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Anne Marie here for my friends at Black Fox Cooper. Many homeowners live with old, drafty windows for years, thinking they can put it off until later. But once they replace them with new Andersen windows, they can't believe the difference. Their homes are quieter, more comfortable, and more energy efficient, and the curb appeal is dramatically improved. Black Fox Cooper helps homeowners understand their options and select the right Andersen windows for their home and budget. Do it today, not tomorrow. Call 314-270-1484. Online at blackfoxcooper.com. Black Fox Cooper, your local Andersen certified contractor.
Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. Summer in St. Louis means your air conditioner basically clocks in with a full-time job. And if your AC is 15, 20, or maybe even 25 years old, it could be working a whole lot harder and costing you a whole lot more than it should. A newer, high-efficiency system from Premier Heating and Cooling can cut cooling costs dramatically compared to older units. In some homes, upgrading from a 20-year-old air conditioner to a modern, high-efficiency system can reduce energy use by 20 to 40%. And even a professional clean and check tune-up can improve efficiency, airflow, and help your system keep up during brutal heat waves. Add in a smart thermostat, and the Department of Energy says homeowners can save another 10% a year on heating and cooling costs. So before your old AC taps out during the hottest week of the summer, call the highly trained team at Premier Heating and Cooling. Financing options available. 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I want to buy your home. Any property, any condition, and always as is. I will pay top dollar with no contingencies and no inspections. You walk away with cash. So don't waste time and money making repairs and paying real estate commissions. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. Or go to robankproperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
This is the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.
Live and local.
Depend on it.
Meep, meep.
St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Here once again is Connor McCarthy.
All right, McGraw, we already had that traffic on 70 westbound past the 70-64 merge due to some regular construction causing quite a bit of traffic. Now out that way as well on 70 eastbound. We have a stalled vehicle right past Missouri 370 at Mid-Rivers Mall Drive that is causing some slowdown in the opposite direction. That's the main spot of traffic's on the road. Everywhere else moving quite well. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
Monday brings another sunny day with a high of 87. Clear skies Monday night will drop to 70. And more sunny and dry weather for Tuesday with a high of 89. Generally sunny and dry weather expected all week, but it will get a little bit warmer. Highs in the low 90s return starting on Wednesday. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Kristen Cornett for the Big 550 KTRS.
Home equity loans are home everything loans at Neighbors Credit Union. Home improvements, vacations, education, even debt consolidation. Anything and everything you have planned can be made easier with my friends at Neighbors Credit Union. With the flexibility of a home equity line of credit at Neighbors Credit Union, you can enjoy a great introductory rate for the first 12 months. The possibilities are endless. Stop by one of the 8 area locations or apply online at neighborscu.org.
Equal housing opportunity. NMLS number 509288. Call 800-325-2697 for complete account and cost details.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Hey, thanks, Farmer Dave. We didn't get the nickname the St. Louis Corvette Kings by accident. We have specialized in Corvettes for over 30 years, and I need more. You have one for sale? Especially C6, C7, and Classic Corvettes. I'm an immediate buyer for very clean, low-mile examples. Hop on our site, MasterCarsInc.com, or give us a call to submit what you have. We'll even come to you if we have to. Owe money on it? Don't worry. We'll make the payoff and pay your equity right on the spot. This has been a fantastic Corvette summer, and I want to keep it rolling.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit MasterCarsInc.com to get more details. That's MasterCarsInc.com.
This July, we celebrate our nation's 250 years of independence and the anniversary of the One Big Beautiful Bill. As a small business owner, you understand the freedom and independence that comes from owning your own business. Hi, I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisor Group, and the author of the 2 #1 best-selling books on taxes, Keep What's Yours and Keeping What's Yours. We're celebrating 50 years helping small businesses maintain their independence by minimizing their financial risk to their business, reducing their tax liability, and growing their wealth with strategic tax planning. If you're relying on investment advice from someone who isn't familiar with strategic tax planning and you feel like you might be paying more than your fair share in taxes, give us a call. 636-394-5524. That's 636-394-5524, or online at capitaladvisorygrp.com.
At the heart of every community, caring comes naturally. At Missouri Farm Bureau Health Plans, we're not just a health plan provider. We're your neighbor, your friends, your partners in health. With us, you're more than just a member. You're a valued part of our Missouri Farm Bureau family. Together we care, together we grow, together we thrive. Missouri Farm Bureau Health Plans, where your health is our commitment. Plan on us. Visit us at mofbhealthplans.com and contact your agent today.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
Yep. So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
Yeah, and now at Staples, save 40% on custom cards, photo gifts, wrapping paper, banners, and more.
Big news! Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. In 613, exclusions apply.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
At the heart of every community, caring comes naturally. At Missouri Farm Bureau Health Plans, we're not just a health plan provider. We're your neighbor, your friends, your partners in health. With us, you're more than just a member. You're a valued part of our Missouri Farm Bureau family. Together we care, together we grow, together we thrive. Missouri Farm Bureau Health Plans, where your health is our commitment. Plan on us. Visit us at mofbhealthplans.com McGrawHealthPlans.com and contact your agent today.
Jill Farmer here with Dan Head, owner of Patriot Build Sunrooms. Dan, why go on vacation these days when your favorite destination could be right in your own backyard?
Thanks, Jill. We can transform your deck or patio into the perfect place to relax and make memories with the Patriot Sunroom. A screen room, patio cover, power shades, outdoor kitchen, and much more. Now is the perfect time to invest in comfort, beauty, and lasting value. Enjoy more light, more nature, more life in a Patriot Sunroom.
Call 314-822-3232 for your free design consultation. Online at patriotbuildsstl.com.
McGraw Millhaven on KTRS.
All right, Mike Dubusky, ABC News tech guru. What's going on with EV sales?
They're going up, which is maybe a little surprising, McGraw, because if you were to talk to any automotive analyst in kind of the later portion of last year, they were saying that it was going to be kind of a bloodbath in the electric vehicle space, of course, because the federal government's EV tax incentive expired. That was the $7,500 program that you could get back on your taxes, been around for many years, that really was designed to get more people into greener vehicles, more energy-efficient vehicles. That expired in November of last year, and that meant the effective cost of this style of vehicle was going up, right? And that absolutely did happen. We saw sort of towards the later part of 2025, first quarter of this year, EV sales were pretty significantly depressed. Well, according to a new report from Cox Automotive, which kind of pulled together all the different sales numbers from the American car makers, or car makers rather, that sell cars in the United States, it turns out that things are starting to turn around a little bit. Car makers sold about 250,000 EVs in the second quarter of this year. That marks a more than 14% increase from the first quarter of this year. That is a notable increase. However, the nuance comes in when you look at year on year, right? This is not pre-tax incentive world. The EV sales are still down more than 20% from Q2 of 2025. But even still, I don't think you would have found many analysts that would see a turnaround like this. And there's kind of conflicting information as to why. Of course, gas prices are elevated amid the war with Iran. People in the market for a new car may be considering something that is a little bit easier on the wallet when it comes to headed to the gas pump or headed to the charging station, as it were. So that's maybe part of this. There's sort of a general cost question here as well, which is that, car makers have been able to bring some of the EV costs down so that they are, if not quite at parity with gas cars, they're certainly much closer than they once were. There's a lot of different sort of ideas here, but it's going to be really interesting to track through the rest of the year to see if this trend continues.
I've heard anecdotally that EV sales with used cars is a big deal.
Yes, and EV sales, as we have observed for many years now, they really depreciate the moment that you drive them off the lot, right? This is true of luxury cars. It is true of EVs, where they just seem to, within the first few years, lose a lot of their value on the secondhand market. And that means that if you are in the market for a new electric vehicle and you don't really care about having the latest thing, you can get a pretty good deal on like a Toyota BZ4X or like a Chevy Equinox or stuff like that, because they have just sort of erased a lot of that extra premium that you get with buying a new car. Of course, that comes with some, risk. This is a used vehicle. Reliability is still very much a question mark with a lot of these things, but, for the most part, they actually have proved somewhat reliable, at least in terms of getting you from point A to point B. So, yeah, another thing to consider there. The sort of bigger picture there is that because it takes a lot of extra development costs to develop an entirely new powertrain, a lot of these car makers kind of launched their luxury vehicles first as electric vehicles, right? If you're going to build an EV platform, you're going to get more margin back if you sell it as a Cadillac as opposed to a Chevy. Luxury cars depreciate very quickly, so do electric vehicles. So that creates, on the used market, some pretty good deals out there.
Yeah, interesting. Any idea as to the customer satisfaction of these EV cars?
Not in this Cox Automotive report necessarily, but, again, your mileage will vary, right? If you look at exactly who's kind of the top players in the EV space right now, it's Tesla, and it has been really for a decade plus now at this point. They continue to dominate this market, though we have seen a general softening of their sales in recent quarters. Tesla selling in Q2 of 2026, 124,000 vehicles. So that's quite a few. Number two, Chevrolet, 14,000, just under 15,000 as a matter of fact. So like, it's really Tesla's world and then everyone else. So, you look at Tesla satisfaction. Well, yeah, a lot of people really like Teslas. They're convenient to charge. They are relatively cheap when compared to the competition. But, they come with some initial quality problems. They come with some reliability issues from, here and there. And of course, you also have to deal with the sort of Elon Musk of it all, which, we know that some people kind of reject. So there's a lot of different kind of factors that go into that. For what it's worth, anecdotally, I know a fair amount of people who have electric vehicles and like them quite a bit. But, that's a very specific, like, we live in New York City, so it's like a very specific application.
Yeah. What about going forward? Are the automotive car companies all in on EVs? Have they pulled back because of the subsidies have gone away? What are the car companies saying?
Depends on who you're talking about, basically. So if you look at a company like Stellantis, which we used to call Fiat Chrysler, which before that we called Daimler Chrysler, basically Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, that company has really turned around on electric vehicles. They had a platform that they were going to adapt into a variety of different vehicles. They have an electric Jeep Wagoneer. They had an electric Dodge Charger, get it. They also have they had planned at least an electric pickup truck to compete with Ford's F-150 Lightning and Chevy's Silverado EV. They have walked away from that electric truck in a pretty big way. It's still maybe coming, but it's been very much delayed. They have also resurrected the Hemi V8, which went away. They are very much recommitting to internal combustion. But you look somewhere else in the automotive industry, like, for example, General Motors, they are still committing to electric vehicles. These are global companies at the end of the day. It is more cost efficient for them to build a car globally that they can sell in Europe and Asia and the United States, as opposed to one that they can just sell here. And, when you look at kind of global EV sales, 1 in 4 last year were electric vehicles. It was about 1 in 10 here in the U.S. If you're the CEO of General Motors or Ford or whoever, you look at that and you say, well, we don't want to totally give up on EVs because we are global companies at the end of the day. So we want to sell cars in Europe and Asia and so on and so on.
Yeah, and that 25% cars in Europe is only getting bigger, right? More and more people.
100%. Yeah. Yes, very much so. And interesting, speaking of Tesla, also going down pretty significantly in Europe. The role of China here is worth mentioning as well, because China deeply subsidizes their automakers, and they produce very high range, very technologically advanced electric vehicles for a relatively low price. And they sell them in Europe. They now sell them in Canada. So, that's something that these EV makers are going to have to consider as well.
Interesting. So we did away with our subsidies while China is putting their subsidies and propping up their automotive industry while we're taking subsidies away from our automotive industry. Interesting.
And when you consider that, from a car buyer's perspective, when it comes time to sign on the dotted line, I think most people are just going to look at the number, right? I don't care where the subsidies are coming from, just get that monthly cost down, just because it is a tough economic environment. The 100% tariff on Chinese-built vehicles was conceived of under the Biden administration, has continued under the Trump administration, but recently we've seen Canada start to allow Chinese electric vehicles into their market. That means they're one step closer to the United States than they were before. So it's going to be something interesting to track.
Mike Dubusky, good stuff. Thanks for checking in.
Of course. Take care.
All right, 7:58. Let's check in with Captain Paul Kopsky in the St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center.
All right, McGraw, still the only real spot of problem here is 70 westbound past the 70-64 merge heading west of St. Charles. That is due to some regular road construction, closing down the left lane. Really slow going there. Elsewhere, just a little bit of normal morning traffic as we get into the morning on 64 east and westbound, right at the 64-170 merge. No accidents or incidents causing that, just a little bit of slowdown as we get into the morning. That's the latest from the St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
72 degrees here at the Big 550 KTRS, all the way up to upper 80s, maybe even touch 90, depending on where you are. Plenty of sunshine today, high of 89. Overnight tonight, low of 67. Tomorrow, carbon copy of today, high of 91. Again, humidity up over 50%. Wednesday, more of the same. 72 here at the Big 550 KTRS. Norway is out. Who are you rooting for now? I can't root for England, can we? France, Spain, Argentina to win back-to-back. Check in with all this with Randy Carricker. Also, it's the All-Star break. Cardinals had a pretty good first half, all things considered. Jordan Walker headed to the Home Run Derby as well as the All-Star game. Cardinals have a couple of players on the All-Star team when it's all said and done. We'll talk to Randy Carricker about all of that, and I know he's getting ready for a little pro football, a little college football, maybe some of that too. 8 o'clock, KTRS St. Louis.
This is the Big 550, KTRS St. Louis, the station you have depended on for 3 decades. We are the talk of St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. The U.S. and Iran again shooting missiles at each other. Iran had a container ship in the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. fired missiles at Iran, and then Iran fired missiles at Jordan, Kuwait, Oman, and Qatar. Oil prices have jumped, and so could gasoline. ABC News Chief White House Correspondent Mary Bruce.
These fresh attacks are coming amid mixed messages about the Strait of Hormuz. After targeting commercial ships in the critical waterway for days, Iran declaring it's closing the Strait of Hormuz. But President Trump says that's not the case. He insists that it is open.
More Israeli air attacks in Gaza City. At least 6 Palestinians were killed, say Palestinian health officials. The Israeli military says it targeted terrorists. Storms and flooding from the Midwest to the east, says ABC News Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z.
Camp Tom Sauk in Missouri, deep in Friday's flood zone.
One of the cabins, you couldn't even see because you could only see the tippy top of the roof.
The National Guard sweeping in with Black Hawk helicopters to rescue more than 200 staff and campers.
Extreme heat spreading across more of the nation, creating a bigger wildfire danger. ABC's Jim Ryan.
The 123-foot-tall ponderosa pine has stood near the town of Beaver, Utah for centuries. Some experts estimate its age at 350 years. Last week, fire crews discovered that the cottonwood fire, which has burned nearly 100,000 acres, also destroyed the old tree. People in Beaver say it's like losing a member of the family.
South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham's sudden death was due to a ruptured aorta from heart disease, says preliminary info from the medical examiner. In a statement explaining his absence from the Senate, Kentucky's Mitch McConnell says he had a fall last month and was in the hospital, now in rehab. McConnell's 84. Dozens of people working at an Ebola treatment center in the Democratic Republic of Congo have gone on strike over unpaid salaries and bonuses. You're listening to ABC News.
Onyx, I keep having stomach issues. Please make me a doctor's appointment.
Okay. Are you suffering from diarrhea, bloating, gas, or oily stools? If so, you may want to ask your doctor if it could actually be a problem with your pancreas, called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI.
My pancreas? How is EPI treated?
A prescription medicine like Creon, pancrelipase, is used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes. Creon is the #1 prescribed treatment for EPI.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. You can learn more at 1-800-633-9110.
Before your appointment, visit creoninfo.com. That's CREON info.com.
.71 degrees at 8:03. Here's what's happening now. 2 juvenile suspects are in custody after a family was targeted in multiple shootings Sunday across East St. Louis, resulting in the deaths of 5 people and injuring 2 others. During a news conference, Illinois State Police Director Brendan Kelly called this act of violence evil. The 2 suspects, ages 15 and 16, were taken into custody at Frank Holton State Park. Residents in southern Missouri are cleaning up after Mother Nature's fury. KTRS's Brendan Wiese has details.
Friday brought a flash flood emergency to folks down in Iron and Reynolds counties after more than a foot of rain fell. First Alert 4 meteorologist Ken Earhart explains the difference between these flash floods and larger scale events.
Well, it'll be interesting to look back on these events and compare that to climate change and see if that is a factor. Obviously, they're two completely different kinds of flooding. When you have a seasonal rainfall that is very heavy upriver, and that water all runs down the Mississippi like we had in '93 and other years. But this is more of a short fuse warning and event where you've had this tremendous rainfall over a very short period of time.
Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe responded to the disaster by issuing a state of emergency. I'm Brendan Wiese, KTRS News.
Lawmakers from Missouri are reacting to the death of Senator Lindsey Graham. U.S. Senator Eric Schmidt released a statement on social media, which reads in part, quote, "Lindsey was a champion for the people of South Carolina. Anyone who ever knew him has lots of fond memories and great stories. Some of mine were on the golf course with him, a place where you can learn a lot about somebody and get to know them. We'd agree on things and we'd disagree on things, but no matter what, we had a lot of laughs," end quote. Governor Mike Kehoe also posted a response on social media, which reads, quote, "America has lost a true statesman and patriot. Missourians joined the nation in thanking Senator Lindsey Graham for his service and dedication to our country. Claudia and I are praying for his loved ones and all those who knew him and served alongside him," end quote. And Governor J.B. Pritzker signed 2 new energy bills into law. House Bill 4456 aims to make energy bills more affordable, expanding the discount program for low-income electricity and gas customers. House Bill 5524 aims to ensure utility charge transparency. It requires the state to publish a report detailing all the charges, which laws or agencies mandate them, and the programs or services they support. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. 71 degrees. Time now is 8:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
All right. Good morning, Rose.
Well, good morning.
Randy Carrick are going to be joining us here at the bottom of the hour. And then Catherine Hanaway, the appointed Attorney General in the state of Missouri. She's only been in the job a few short months, but, man, she is making news all over the place. She went after the illegal gambling machines. She went after the illegal ATM Bitcoin machines. Now she's going after the Mark Twain building, which is a known hotbed for illegal activity. And so we'll get into that with her coming up here at the top of the hour. Speaking of ATM Bitcoins machines, it's really ridiculous, but there's supposed to be a place where you can go and buy Bitcoin. So you put in $100 of cash, and the machine then converts it into Bitcoin and then sells you $75 worth of Bitcoin and takes $25 as the fee for the convenience.
Right. So
why would you go and do that is ridiculous.
I mean, it literally was created so that you cannot trace money. So it's like It's a black market thing. It's I'm dealing drugs, I'm selling, I'm trafficking, I'm whatevering.
Yes.
And I'm exchanging monies between nefarious peoples.
Or you're investing?
Yes.
In what?
But the whole Nancy Guthrie thing, right? They all wanted Bitcoin because it's non-traceable. Sort of like
like the only reason you'd want it is if you're conducting illegal activity.
Yes.
Otherwise, there's no point.
Terrorists use it to pay other terrorists. Drug dealers use it to pay other drug dealers.
How are Bitcoin ATMs not immediately flagged? Like,
well,
you know
because
what I mean?
it's not because it's not illegal to pay in Bitcoin. It's just it's off the grid, if you will. But the legitimate purpose of these Bitcoin machines are you can go and buy Bitcoins from them. I don't know why you would use this way, because 25% of your money goes to a fee, which is ridiculous. But be that as it may, they're mostly used for scams, which is usually somebody calls up somebody and convinces them that they have to send money, go to your Bitcoin on the corner of Main and First, go into the convenience store, put your money in this Bitcoin ATM, and we'll never hear from you again. And so that's why these things are still around. And God bless Catherine Hanaway. She's the one who's sort of taken this on and said, calls it what it is it's a scourge on society, and they shouldn't be regulated. They shouldn't be anywhere. You shouldn't have to find them. And so she wants to wipe them off in Missouri. So they're not too hard to find, and they're sort of hiding in broad daylight.
Well, if I was like an FBI agent or something, wouldn't that be a good place to like go to a place that sells Bitcoin machine or like that has ATMs to like trace this nefarious activity?
Funny you mention that, because no. and here's why. Unsuspecting McGraw Millhaven gets a phone call, and oh my goodness, I have to give Sally in Chicago $10,000 or they're going to kidnap my daughter.
Right.
So I go to this machine, and the cop is there, and the cop says, McGraw, it's a scam. No, you don't understand. I have to give this money. So the person who's being scammed is doing it legitimately. So that's not the crime.
And well, willingly. No, I know, but tracing the crime, like clearly the guy, let's say the
it's
cop's
untraceable.
There. Well, right. So I just be like, who are you speaking to? You know, then can't they find encrypt like you like?
But what's the crime?
No, I'm saying that. So it's a scam, right? So say little unsuspecting McGraw Millhaven, who looks clearly out of his element here at this random gas station, whatever. The cop looks like, Mr. Millhaven.
I'm telling you, there are videos of the police officers trying to convince these people not to put the money in the machine.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm going is, who are you talking to? Let's trace. You know what I mean? Like you could go back and trace the Nigerian scammer. Like it would just be a way to be like, I know that part's untraceable. But you're like, so McGraw, who are you talking to? Can you bring us your computer or whatever to show us the communication between you and said scammer?
And oftentimes the courts say the little old lady did it voluntarily.
Well, right, but she could help you find the Nigerian scammer.
I understand it, but where's
the crime?
No crime
has been committed.
She voluntarily gave this Nigerian guy the money.
Well, right, but she could say, here's my link, and then they can go and like find this guy and maybe find other things that he's scamming. Like as people go to the cops going, I've just been scammed out of my entire life savings by this whatever.
First of all, they're in Nigeria, so it's hard. And secondly, there's been a number of stories the last couple of months about these people who have found these sort of one-room call centers where they're in, some foreign entity and you can't touch them. But oftentimes, if you do find the person and you are able to bring charges and you do take them to court, the courts say, what's the crime?
Right.
The crime was Carl gave a McGraw money. What's the crime? Well, Carl voluntarily gave a McGraw money.
That's true, and that's why and I watch all these scam things, like these romance scams, and they go to the police, and I'm kind of like, what? I mean, no offense. I mean, like I'm not trying to blame the victim, but it's like you're the one that willingly gave this person all of your money.
Right.
What do you think that the police are going to be able to do for you?
Correct. Right.
Same thing.
Right. Same deal, and that's why these things are such a scourge on society. And I applaud her for going after the illegal gambling machines, for these Bitcoin machines. Now she's going after this Mark Twain Hotel. So anyway, we'll talk to her at 9 o'clock. So how about that? Now, let's talk about Bowen Dental Care, because dental implants, before Carl gets mad at me, dental implants is where you want to go to get your teeth fixed. You want to go to Dr. Bowen. 2 locations, South County on Lee May Ferry Road, directly across the street from Melville High School. You look one way, there's Melville High School. You look the other way, it's Dr. Bowen's office down there on Lee May Ferry Road. He also has his world headquarters just down the street from Johnny Londoff on Dunn Road in North County. He is so well respected, other dentists send their patients to Dr. Bowen for implants. You go to a corporate dentist and you're talking about implants. You don't even meet the dentist. You meet the finance person 6 times, but you don't meet the dentist. How bizarre is that? You go to Dr. Bowen. That's exactly who was going to be there every step of the way. How do I know this? I just sent a dear friend of mine over there, and they were singing the praises of Dr. Bowen because he was there, his bedside manner. He was explaining everything that's going on. They were right. That's what you want with a dentist. You You're going to the dentist. You want to spend this money. You don't want to talk to the finance person. You want to talk to the dentist. Dr. Bone has got a great reputation for all things dental implants. So, true family-run dentistry and, yes, dental implants. Bowen, Boain, or simply securedentures.com. Captain Paul is out. Connor McCarthy is in the St. Louis Closet Company Shopping Center.
All right, McGraw, the real spot of bother here on the roadways today, 70 westbound past Hochul Parkway, but that's out past the 70-64 merge, right past it, right by Lake St. Louis. Regular road construction, shutting down the left lane there, moving extremely slow there as traffic is down to one lane. So if you're heading out west, that's what you got to be wary of. That's the latest from the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
Just what the weather doctor ordered here. A much quieter weather pattern this week. Loads of sunshine and minimal rain chances. Today's forecast, sunny, warm, dry, up to about 87 for the high this afternoon. Humidity really not too bad today. And then clear skies expected tonight, down to 69 early tomorrow morning. More sunshine on tap for Tuesday, too. Just a little bit hotter. We'll be close to 90 tomorrow afternoon. Seasonably hot, we'll call it. From Wednesday into the weekend, the heat index between 95 and 100 each afternoon during that 5-day stretch. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers on the Big 550 KTRS.
Got gold? Get green at Jewels on Hampton. Jewels on Hampton pays the most for your precious metals, jewelry, gems, currency, antiques, and collectibles. Jewels on Hampton buys precious and semi-precious gems and stones, scrap gold, and sterling silver. Jewels on Hampton buys and sells paper money, wristwatches, and pocket watches. They even take pianos and cars. To sum up, bring your gold chains, bracelets, rings, coins, dental gold, and more to Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton Avenue in St. Louis. And get green online at jewelsonhampton.com.
The World Cup is here, and for a team to survive, they need a good defense. If you've been hurt in a crash or on the job, call Brown & Brown now for a free consultation. 314-333-3333. That's 314, all threes. The choice of lawyer is an decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Choose Pella of St. Louis for window and door replacement to help enhance your home. For a limited time, get 20% off Pella projects. Call 833-87-PELLA or visit Pella.com/radio. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Hi, it's Julie Buck. You know, many people know Rankin Jordan Pediatric Bridge Hospital for its inpatient services, but its outpatient therapy program is also helping children thrive. Specializing in care for children with complex medical needs, Rankin Jordan offers physical, occupational, speech, and aquatic therapy in a welcoming, fun environment. The hospital is also home to the region's only warm water pediatric therapy pool. And parents can get in too. To find out more, talk to your doctor or visit rankinjordan.org.
Looking for your next favorite place? Head to Big Chief's Roadhouse on historic Route 66 in Wildwood. Relax on the beautiful patio, discover the hidden speakeasy, and enjoy fresh garden-to-table flavors straight from Big Chief's own gardens. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or drinks with friends, there's something for everyone. Visit BigChiefSTL.com, call 636-458-3200, or stop by today and experience one of Route 66 true dining destinations at Big Chief Roadhouse on Route 66.
Kick off the season with a winning team. Choose Hackett Security to watch your home while you're watching the game. Hackett Security has a system to meet every budget. They are a locally owned national security company with on-site 24/7 UL listed monitoring. Visit HackettSecurity.com or call 314-432-4200. Who will be watching your home while you're watching the game? Hackett Security. They're looking out for you. 314-432-4200. HACKETT Security.com.
When it comes to mortgage lenders, I know you have no shortage of options. But are you working with someone local who can truly simplify the process? I'm David Goldberg with the Goldberg Group, and as a St. Louis home purchase expert, I know this market inside and out. I specialize in tough-to-complete situations for borrowers who are self-employed, looking to buy and sell at the same time, and may have been turned down somewhere else. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or seasoned homeowner, you can trust me with all of your home financing needs. Call or text me at 314-471-4030. 314-471-4030.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
8:20 here, Big 550, KTRS. So Lindsey Graham passes away over the weekend. Mitch McConnell makes an appearance. Mitch McConnell posted a photo and a public statement saying that he had been hospitalized for a fall and then he had pneumonia. I'm doing fine, but no word on when he's coming back.
Isn't his wife in the photo too?
Is that right? His wife is back from China?
She is at his side.
Yes. Because for the while she said, hey, he's fine. Let me finish up my trip in China. And so she finally made it back.
But there are conspiracy theorists.
Or Photoshop is really,
Yeah.
really making a comeback here.
Conspiracy theorists say it's fake.
Yeah, of course.
Because that's what they do.
Right. That's, you know what's really heartbreaking is that when I was younger, Wimbledon was a big deal.
Johnny Carson went.
And like American tennis always had, you had your McEnroe, you had your
Jimmy Connors.
Well, even your Agassiz and your Couriers and your Pete Samprases of the world, and right. I mean, where are the American tennis players?
Coco Gauff made it to the semis.
Okay, and then.
And isn't Serena considered like probably one of the greatest female tennis players of all time?
But they're retired, and so that even though they came back, I mean, name for me one American male tennis player.
Djokovic.
Yeah, he's from
not here.
He's not from here. He's not from here. I think he's from Croatia, actually. Right. So I mean, we have Coco Gauff for the Americans. And one or two other Americans that are kind of, if I heard them, I would know who they are.
Novak is from Serbia.
Serbia, okay.
And Federer.
Roger Federer, he's from Germany.
He's retired.
Yeah, but he's retired. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's from Germany or Sweden or something.
What? So he didn't play
Swiss.
for the States?
Swiss, okay. Yeah. No, I mean, isn't that amazing? I mean, you just had the Wimbledon Championships, and you can't name one American tennis player. For that matter, boxing, too. Remember when boxing was, you always had, where are the American boxers?
Corey Spinks.
Oh, that's
was 20
30 years ago. 30 years ago.
So the number 3 women's tennis player in the world, Jessica Pegula, is American.
Okay.
And then Coco Gauff is number 4. In men, number 6 is Ben Shelton. Number 9 is Taylor Fritz.
Never heard of those names. Never heard of those names. Now, again,
they're in the top 10.
Again, I'm not the biggest tennis guy in the world, but there's no. I mean, I was the biggest tennis player or tennis fan when Agassi was running things, and when Pete Sampras was there. I mean, these were sort of stars, and whether they won or lost, you knew what they were doing. But just crickets when it comes to the American tennis world.
Maybe we're in a transition period. Maybe this just isn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gen
I mean, do
Z's,
athletes not playing tennis anymore? But I mean, tennis was a huge deal at one point. I mean, I know people still play tennis. I'm not saying that, but in terms of the Americans, you have this Wimbledon deal, and like, I don't know. Is
maybe
my
the
life
Europeans are just that much better?
Is my life so sheltered that I've just don't have tennis news permeate my conscious?
Seems like it.
Yeah, I mean, crazy stuff.
The top 3 players in the world, Italy, German, and Spanish.
I mean, I understand the World Cup's going on, so it's getting a lot of more attention than Wimbledon does.
And
but
maybe that's it. Maybe it's just that simple. Because World Cup is kind of...
U.S. Open's coming up. I don't know. Golf seems to permeate my consciousness.
Why?
I'm just saying it. Is it why? Why would that be?
I don't know.
Why would that be that I don't seek out? You know, I'm just as busy, but I'm able to at least glean something from golf, whereas tennis, I mean, they don't even run the highlights anymore. You watch the news. There's no highlights anymore. There's no right. You watch Cusimano or whoever doing sports. And they'd always do, and in Wimbledon today, you know, Andre Agassi advanced to the semis, or this one lost, or this one whatever.
Well, it's like they're all going to like pickleball or something now. Like I literally watched it was a pickleball tournament or something. And I was like, first of all, I thought it was kind of marketed for older people like to play it because it's
young people are good
now
at it.
Now the young people are totally taking it over, and it's a completely, fierce, competitive, weirdly to watch because pickleball is like ping pong and
tennis,
table tennis. So maybe they're all playing pickleball.
But I mean, is there a? Yeah,
or are they playing other sports? Or
is
something?
there an international Wimbledon pickleball championship that I'm missing out on?
Well, the two women that played on Saturday, they were both from the Czech Republic, and they're friends.
Yeah,
and so,
I mean, really, the only tennis I've heard about in the last couple of weeks is Martina and Chris Everett have a documentary out about how they both suffered from cancer and how they're both good friends, and that's okay. That's interesting. I know Andre Agassi is getting ready to do a documentary, or is in the process of doing a documentary for one of them, Netflix, YouTube, streaming,
both of
Apple,
them.
something.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, they were on.
Yeah, right. But so I mean, that permeated my consciousness. That I saw somewhere.
Well, and the Williams, didn't they both come back out of retirement for this one? Right? This was kind of a big deal.
Yes,
or one of them.
They both came back, and then whatever happened.
Did not win.
They did not do very well, but whatever.
Now,
Also,
did you know that the guy who won Wimbledon won last year?
I didn't know who won Wimbledon this year.
Yannick Sinner.
Did you know that, Randy Carricker?
Unfortunately, I did.
All right, so there is some hope for the tennis world.
Sabalenka is the number one woman in the world, but somebody I've never heard of won.
She's from Belarus.
Yeah. Okay. Who won? Who was the female Wimbledon winner?
Randy.
Linda somebody from
Noskova.
Czech.
So you are human.
From
all right. So you are human. You're not an AI bot, at least. All
Linda
right.
Noskova.
Yeah. All right. Good. Randy, stay right there. We'll check in with you in a minute. We got to do traffic and weather. We'll do some news, and then we'll get back with Randy Carricker. 8:27 here, Big 550 KTRS, St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Here's Connor McCarthy.
All right, McGraw, not much traffic out on the roadways right now outside of one big problem spot on 70 westbound past the 70-64 merge. Not due to an accident, but just regular construction. It's closing down the left lane, causing traffic to go down to one lane of traffic. So really slow going if you're heading west past St. Charles. Other than that, just a little bit of slowdown in the normal spots due to some regular morning traffic, 64 east and westbound at the 70 merge, and 270 northbound right before 64 also slowed down a little bit. That's the latest from the St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
72 degrees here at the Big 550 KTRS. Weather for the next couple of days. Again, a carbon copy of what we saw last week. Temperatures 89 degrees with plenty of sunshine and plenty of humidity. Overnight tonight, 70. And then tomorrow, a carbon copy, 92 with plenty of humidity, plenty of sunshine, and more of the same for Wednesday. 72 right now at 8:28. Let's go to the newsroom. Here's Rose Alton.
The United States and Iran each say they control the Strait of Hormuz after attacks over the weekend stretching across the wider Middle East. The latest exchange was sparked by an Iranian attack on a container ship on Sunday in the Strait of Hormuz, a critical waterway for international oil and gas over which Iran has asserted control since the United States and Israel started the war on February 28th. Senator Lindsey Graham's death has sparked a political scramble in South Carolina. As a senior senator and ally of President Donald Trump, Graham was expected to win re-election easily. Now Governor Henry McMaster must appoint a temporary replacement until January. A special primary will determine the Republican nominee for the general election. In local headlines, a proposed 6-month moratorium on data centers is scheduled to come up for a vote tonight before the St. Charles County Council. The plan introduced at the June 29 council meeting would use the county government's Environmental and Health Protection Authority to enact the moratorium throughout the entire county, including inside city boundaries where county regulations don't usually apply. And Illinois Treasurer Michael Frerichs will announce the latest round of charitable trust grants for nonprofits throughout the state. That announcement will come during a news conference at 10 this morning. 73 degrees. Time now is 8:28. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
Let's face it, most people are not thinking about planning a funeral, but planning ahead can bring you significant savings by locking in today's prices. Lakeview Funeral Home and Memorial Gardens in Fairview Heights is part of Dignity Memorial. They've been an essential part of the community for generations and believe a funeral service or cremation memorial should be as unique as the person it honors. Receive low-interest options on prepaid cremation property and burial plans and up to 10% off cemetery property and funeral plans. Experience the dignity difference. Call Lakeview Funeral Home and Memorial Gardens at 618-233-7200 to schedule a pre-planning appointment. Online at dignitymemorial.com.
It's the GOAT! The greatest of all trade-in events at HW Kia. Bring your trade now and get up to $5,000 over book value for it. If your trade is old, tired, stinky, or being held together by duct tape and a prayer, HW Kia wants it. Paid off or not, bring that old goat in to HW Kia. Then drive home a new HW Kia K4 for just $189 a month. Yes, only $189 a month on a 24-month lease. It's the HW Kia GOAT event. The greatest of all trade-in events. Get up to $5,000 over book value for your trade now. New K4, just $189 a month. HW Kia in the heart of West County on Manchester Road. And remember, Big D wants to see ya in an HW Kia. Start now at hwkia.com. With approved credit to well-qualified buyers through Kia Finance. 2026 K4, $36.95 to its signing. Discount includes $850 in lease cash. 10,000 miles per year. No security deposit. Plus tax, title, license, and admin fee expires 7/31/26.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on. And that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Are you looking to buy a new home, set money aside for college, or start planning for retirement? Royal Banks of Missouri is here to create a personalized savings strategy that works for you and your financial goals. From roundup savings to money market to individual retirement accounts, they offer a variety of options to help you save for life's most memorable moments. Call 314-212-1500 or visit a location near you to learn more. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, Randy Carricker checks in on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning, McGraw. Am I on the YouTube right now?
You are on the tubes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So I know it's obscure, but you being the insanely plugged-in sports guy, anything to glean from the Cardinals draft over the weekend?
Well, Trevor Condon, the first-round pick, 13th overall, was the Georgia Gatorade Player of the Year, which Jordan Walker was 6 years ago when the Cardinals drafted him. But this guy appears kind of like J.J. Weatherholt and Jordan Walker to be a 5-tool player. Now, it'll take him longer to get here, you would think, if they don't rush him like they did with Walker, because he's a high school player. But he's something. And then the second rounder is another Tennessee pitcher. Last year, with their first 2 picks, they took Tennessee pitchers, Liam Doyle and Tanner Franklin. And the guy they took this year in the second round, another big, hard-throwing right-handed pitcher from Tennessee. So aside from Tony Vitello, who's from St. Louis and was a Tennessee coach, there's something that the Cardinals like about the Tennessee pitching pipeline.
Yeah. What do you make of them going pitching heavy?
I think that you can never have enough good pitching. And you can always trade pitching for hitting. And if you need a hitter, you can always put together a group of young pitchers and get it. By the way, one other note, if you looked at the scouting services, of the top 52 picks the Cardinals had, all of them were in people's ratings of the top 50. They did a really good job, at least if the experts, quote-unquote experts, are right. They did a really good job of taking people that, taking players that the baseball amateur experts really liked.
Right. Which is dangerous if you follow the experts. Who knows? But you have to assume that they do their own due diligence and have some type of matrix and some type of slide rule or compass or protractor that says that these guys are pretty good. What do you make of J.J. Weatherholt signing a big contract over the weekend?
Great deal for both sides. 8 years, $112 million, an average of 14.5 per. Now, 6 years of control and 5 after this year is what he's giving up, plus 3 years of free agency, which is a great deal for the Cardinals.
Right.
And he's getting life-changing money. And this is a guy that would have gone first in the draft if he hadn't been injured. He wound up going 7th in the draft. I really think that it's an ingenious deal on the part of the Cardinals because guys that were in the same mold as him, Connor Griffin with Pittsburgh, Kevin McGonigal with Detroit, those guys were getting $130 and $140 million. Now, granted, he's 4 years older than they are.
Right.
But I believe the Cardinals got a great deal for them because I think he's going to be great. And I think he got a good deal because he got life-changing money. And when he becomes a free agent, he'll be 31.
Interesting.
In his prime.
You know, it's just, you mentioned he fell to 7th. He had like a hamstring injury,
That's
right?
Exactly right. But it ruined his season. Isn't that amazing?
So that's what soured all these scouts on is 6 other teams because he had a hamstring injury?
And maybe it was because he just didn't get enough opportunity to play in his last year at West Virginia. But that was the reason that he didn't go number 1, and he was considered the best hitter in the draft.
How many years ago was he drafted?
3 years ago?
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he spent 3 years in the system.
Who was the guy that they got last year that was the really high draft
Liam
pick?
Doyle, 5th overall.
That's the guy.
And he pitched in the Futures game yesterday for the National League.
Okay.
He pitched an inning, struck out 2, walked a couple, picked a runner off, and his stuff is unbelievable. He just needs to increase his command. Still really inexperienced, but he'll be here sooner rather than later. One other note about the Cardinal system, by the way, Jurangelo Cijntje, the switch pitcher that they got from Seattle in the Brendan Donovan deal, he was brilliant in his last 2 starts in the minors, or in the Double-A, 17 strikeouts in 12 innings. He's been promoted now to Triple-A.
Is he still pitching with both left-hand and right-hand?
To select left-handed hitters, he will throw left-handed.
Really?
Yeah, the Cardinals are all in on it. They're willing to let him do it, and he's actually been pretty successful.
Right, he has a glove, right? And he can put the glove on either hand.
He's got a switch glove, too, right.
Yeah, courtesy of Rawlings. Courtesy of Westport Prowse over here. That's really cool. That's really, really cool. So God love him. All right, cool. All right, Cardinals finished the first half 50-45. They are, let's see here, they're 1 game out of the wild card. Hey, man, no matter what happens, this is a fun year to watch them.
The Cardinals were projected by the PECOTA projections, which are put together by Baseball Prospectus, to win 66 games this year. They have 50 at the All-Star break.
Wow.
They are not going to finish with 66 wins. They're going to finish with more than that. And one thing we have to do, McGraw, and I know this is difficult for a lot of people, is to give credit to John Mozeliak.
Yes.
Because when you look at Herrera and Crooks and Pages, all brought in by Mozeliak, Burleson, Weatherholt, Wynn, Walker, all of these guys. Matthew Liberatore has pitched really well his last 3 starts. The starting pitching has actually all gotten to a point where they're ascending. The Cardinals always could identify talent. It was a matter of developing the talent, and now they're doing a much better job of developing the talent. And I really think they are on a great trajectory to be great by 2028.
Well, and I think the only criticism I have of Mozeliak is they should have done this a year sooner. They should have gotten rid of everybody last year and just moved this youth movement earlier.
And everybody in that organization will tell you off the record that one of the worst things to happen to them was when Nolan Arenado turned down the trade to Houston, because that would have given you runway to look at Gorman.
Right.
And there were some other things. They were not heartbroken by Contreras and Gray being here, but the Arenado, the forcing him to play last year kind of set them back in terms of giving hitters runway.
Yeah. We were talking off the air. The Seattle Seahawks are going to sell for $10 billion?
Yep, 9.6. Now, not the most expensive franchise ever sold, because Mark Walter, the owner of the Dodgers, bought the Lakers for $10 billion last year. But $9.6 billion. And here's what I think, McGraw, is number one, give credit to the NFL, because they have built a product that we can't turn away from.
Correct.
But when a rich person spends $9.6 billion, they aren't getting into it to lose money. And they say, well, we're getting the money from TV. Well, where's TV getting their money? And when Visa and Verizon and Microsoft and all of these people become partners with the NFL, they're going to increase the price of their products so that they can buy the advertising for NFL games. So we wind up paying for the $9.6 billion that this guy is going to wind up spending.
Yes.
One other quick point about the NFL and the money they take in. This is amazing. The average ticket price for a Seahawks game last year was between $250 and $720.
That's how much a ticket was.
The average ticket. And they're going to go up in price with the new ownership there. So, and Seattle people, they're rich, they can afford it. But all across the league, the ticket prices are just outrageous. And at some point, there's going to be a group of fans that say, we just can't do this anymore. That's happened with a lot of Buffalo Bills fans. Their tickets in the new stadium are unbelievably expensive, and people just can't afford it anymore. I think at some point you're going to reach a point where there aren't enough people with enough money to buy tickets for sports.
Right. Well, I'll argue this when it comes to the NFL. I would much rather watch a game at home,
no doubt,
than watch it at a stadium.
Yeah, no doubt. And we had, as much as people didn't like the Dome, nobody complained about the Dome during the greatest show on turf, but we had the best situation ever because that Dome was loud. The offense was unbelievable, maybe the best offense ever. You could still play defense in the league, which you can't do now. And I'm with you. With the quality of the product has diminished to the point, and the quality of the TV product has advanced to the point where I think you're way better off watching a game at home than going to a stadium.
Not to mention you can watch six other games at the same time, and you're not charging $17 for a soda, and $45 to park, and you got to be searched from head to toe to walk in the stadium, and it's just so much nicer.
In 1995, the first year the Rams were here, I spent $35 a ticket for the NFL. And I think there were something like, for those seats, something like $95 a ticket when they left.
All right.
But I think now with the Rams, first of all, the cheapest PSL was $10,000. And then you had to buy the tickets. And I think the cheapest ticket is something like $150.
Right.
And that's upper deck end zone.
Crazy stuff. Randy Carricker, who's your sponsor?
It's our friend Ryan Raphael, and he is the Medicare man, and he's just a great guy and truly the man when it comes to explaining the crazy world of Medicare. You know what's cool about Ryan, among many things, is that when you get information from him, he's a broker, so it's free for you. So if you're about to turn 65, you're going to be involved with Social Security and Medicare, you want to talk to Ryan. His number is 314-368-6808. He's on the web at MedicareManSTL.com. If you have a supplement, you want to change that, Ryan can help you out. If anything changed with your health or your prescriptions and you need to change your Medicare plan, Ryan Raphael can help you. He is Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man. Again, the number 314-368-6808 on the web at MedicareManSTL.com.
Connor McCarthy, St. Louis Classic Cowboy Traffic Center.
All right, McGraw, we still have just the one main spot of traffic out on the roads right now, 70 westbound past the 70-64 merge, right past Lake St. Louis due to regular road construction that's closing down the left lane, making the highway just go down to one lane, causing a lot of slowdowns. If you're heading out west, that's your problem there. Elsewhere, really only the regular morning traffic in a couple of spots, 64 west and eastbound, right at 170. That's slowdown, but not due to any accidents or incidents, just some regular traffic on the roads. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair, free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
Monday brings another sunny day with a high of 87. Clear skies Monday night will drop to 70. And more sunny and dry weather for Tuesday with a high of 89. Generally sunny and dry weather expected all week, but it will get a little bit warmer. Highs in the low 90s return starting on Wednesday. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Kristen Cornett for the Big 550 KTRS.
Every summer, homeowners make plans. A new grill, a backyard project, a family vacation. But what about the upgrades you'll enjoy every single day? If your windows are drafty, difficult to open, or your entry and patio door has seen better days, now is the perfect time to make a change. Renewal by Andersen makes replacing windows and doors simple with beautifully crafted products, professional installation, and a customer experience that's second to none. And right now, you'll save big. Get $1,000 off your patio or entry door purchase and take $400 off each replacement window. All you have to do is call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Again, that's 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
Lots of talk about charities here in St. Louis, but none better than the Ronald McDonald House. Their mission is simple. It is a place for families to go when their children are being treated in the world-class hospitals here in the region. Some of those stays are 3 or 4 days. Some of those stays are 6 months. Where does a family go? They come in here. They can't go home every night. Plus, they have other kids. They've got to worry about their jobs. They got to worry about dinner. Then the stress of having a child in the hospital, right? That gets, as you can see, it gets very stressful pretty quickly. Well, the Ronald McDonald House has 2 houses, 92 bedrooms, and what they do is they provide a home away from home for families. It's as simple as that. 926 families took advantage of the Ronald McDonald House last year. 31 different states, 19 different countries. However, 88% of them come right here from the region. The average stay is about 23 nights. Volunteers, they always need volunteers. It can't be run without volunteers at the Ronald McDonald House. And end-of-the-year giving, volunteering your time, just being a part of the community. The Ronald McDonald House is a wonderful, wonderful organization. They help raise all sorts of money to keep this wonderful mission going. The Ronald McDonald House. To find out more, RMHC, Ronald McDonald House Charities, RMHCSTL.org.
Aluminum shapes the world around us, keeping our homes cool, our cars moving, and our supply chains humming. From their global headquarters in St. Louis, Metal Exchange has been helping to make it happen for over 50 years. But they're more than an aluminum company.
At their core, Metal Exchange takes a we before me approach by putting people first at work and in our community. That's why this month they're teaming up with Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis for Christmas in July, collecting toys and bringing joy to local families. Learn more about how Metal Exchange is impacting our world at metalexchange.com.
This July, we celebrate our nation's 250 years of independence and the anniversary of the One Big Beautiful Bill. As a small business owner, you understand the freedom and independence that comes from owning your own business. Hi, I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisor Group and the author of the 2 #1 best-selling books on taxes, Keep What's Yours and Keeping What's Yours. We're celebrating 50 years helping small businesses maintain their independence by minimizing their financial risk to their business, reducing their tax liability, and growing their wealth with strategic tax planning. If you're relying on investment advice from someone who isn't familiar with strategic tax planning and you feel like you might be paying more than your fair share in taxes, give us a call. 636-394-5524. That's 636-394-5524 or online at capitaladvisorygrp.com.
The heat of summer has arrived with humidity, dew points, and constant hydration. But it's always cool and comfortable at Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant. Whether it's summer camp, cooling off at the pool, or just relaxing in the shade, Gingham's is a great way to start or finish any day. Just add us to your to-do list. The management and staff at Gingham's would like to wish our customers and friends a safe and enjoyable summer, and to the United States of America, a very happy 250th birthday. Gingham's Restaurant St. Charles or ginghamsrestaurant.com.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
Somebody upset that I keep calling Connor Captain Paul Kopsky. I've only done it like 6 or 7 times this morning. What's the big deal? I wonder how McGill would receive it if one of his colleagues constantly referred to him as someone else on the air. We had a guest calling me Tim on Friday. I was okay with it. Kind of funny that an all-world broadcaster can't handle the traffic guy taking a couple of days off.
Is this the same texter or just all these different text messages?
That's the same.
Oh.
That's the same guy. Not happy.
It's actually Connor.
It's Connor's brother. Let's see here. There's a Bitcoin machine. There's a Bitcoin ATM machine outside Neiman Marcus in Frontenac, and
I saw
one
it.
used outside of Saks. Yeah, I've seen it too. I always thought that was an odd location. I did too. It's right where the Santa Claus is on Neiman Marcus, I guess, right outside the door there. McGraw, I challenge you to look at the picture of Mitch McConnell and his wife. If you're referring to the picture of his hospital bed, I challenge you. It's a fake picture. I looked at the picture. I mean, it could be real. It could be fake. I mean, I don't believe anything anymore. It very easily could be a fake picture. It very easily could be a real picture. How was anybody supposed to know anymore? Mm-hmm. Did they go to Muse and on their Instagram accounts and put a fake picture together?
Remember that one guy can't tell anymore. Remember there was that guy's whole job is to determine fakes from real.
Yes, yeah.
He's like,
and the guy says, look at the smooth skin. He hasn't had that smooth skin in years. So I'm sure that, they put makeup on the guy, and they put a nice shirt on him,
or
and
a filter,
combed his hair a little bit, and took 2 or 3 pictures. But yeah, it very easily could be fake. Absolutely.
I think Laura Loomer was one of the people that went on X and said it is not really Mitch McConnell.
I don't know why she's a fan of MAGA. She keeps throwing MAGA under the bus. Mitch McConnell said he's not quite ready to come back to the Senate. He had a mild case of pneumonia. He said he was briefly unconscious after a fall and was taken to the hospital. He's submitted to every test that they can think of to help figure out what caused this incident. My doctors have confirmed that I didn't break any bones or suffer any concussion. I didn't have a heart attack or a stroke. I don't have any tumors or hemorrhages. He says it's going to take him a while. Hasn't gotten any easier to manage with my age, and last month I took a fall that landed me in the hospital. Well, it looks like government-run healthcare is actually pretty good. if you're Mitch McConnell, right? I mean, he's been in the government for 30 years now. He's got government-run healthcare. It's apparently pretty good.
Kept him alive.
I can imagine how expensive it would be to run every test like that to determine. You know what I mean? If we're just paying out of pocket.
The man's clearly got some pretty good health insurance.
Yeah.
or health care.
Right?
Yeah.
And also, with Lindsey Graham's passing, they knew his cause of death immediately. Normally, when a celebrity dies, and political celebrity, it takes them at least a couple days to say, here's how this person died. They knew within 12 hours how he died? That seems odd to me.
Were you insinuating something nefarious?
He just flew back from Ukraine.
Oh, you think he was poisoned or something?
Weirder things could have happened.
Weirder things have happened. Yes, that is true. Weirder things have happened. Why is it that the ambulance that responded to Mitch McConnell's house said they had to do CPR on the unconscious person? He admitted that he was unconscious for just a moment. Is Mitch McConnell smiling in the photo? If so, definitely fake.
He is smiling.
I thought it was very nice that Elvis and John Wayne stopped by to visit Mitch McConnell.
Oh, God.
Notice the left side of his face is paralyzed. His wife is holding him up. I don't know that to be true.
She's holding his hand.
Yeah, I don't necessarily. Maybe you're looking at a different doctored photo than I am, but I don't see that in the doctored photo I'm looking at.
And somebody said that the photo was reversed, too, so I don't know if that's true either.
I don't know what that means. So what do you mean it was reversed?
So his left side is his right side. Like sometimes when you take a selfie on your phone, it reverses it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So it's hiding the paralyzed portion of his face?
You only see one side of his hand. You only see his, according to the photo, his left hand. You don't see his right hand very much.
Well, the man did suffer from polio as a kid, so he's got some effects of that too. So All right, 8:55 here, Big 550 KTRS. Quite a bit of Mitch McConnell coverage, like a lot. Well, it sort of affects everything. If this man doesn't show up for work,
he can't be replaced.
He can't be replaced. He has to vote while on the floor. And if there's appropriations that they want for more money for the bombs in Iran, it has to go through his appropriations committee. He's not there. Democrats and Republicans are then equal. If it's a 50-50 vote, it doesn't advance through committee. Therefore, President Trump doesn't get his money for what's going on in Iran. So the one vote is kind of a big deal.
Why can't he be replaced?
Because he's a sitting senator. He can only be replaced when, I guess, he resigns or dies. He's a senator, but you can't vote unless you're in the chamber. So since he's not in the chamber, the Republicans have one less vote. Okay. So that's the whole deal. What you're doing is how rumors get started.
No, we're just repeating the rumors that are already out there.
We're not starting any rumors. We're just adding fuel to the fire of the rumors. And don't yell at me. Yell at the algorithms on Facebook and Twitter and everything else. Okay. So there. Let's talk about redoing your bathroom. Jacob Baths. And jacobsbaths.com. 50 plus years they've been redoing your bathroom. And in those 50 years, styles have changed quite a bit over this 50 years. But now, today, Jacob will use beautiful colors, beautiful designs that are current. He'll also use materials that look like luxury stone, last a lifetime. They'll also use materials that look like tile and grout, yet last a lifetime. When they're finished in 1 to 2 days, they're going to rip out all the old and input all the new. Low-threshold walk-in showers, seats and grab bars, non-stick service. It'll be beautiful. It'll be stylish. It will be modern, and they'll do it right. Jacob Baths and Showers. Here's what you do. The phone number, 1-800-222-6676, 1-800-222-6676. The website, jacobbaths.com. 2 locations. Go see the showroom and go see for yourself in Fenton and in Fairview Heights. You want a great St. Louis company to do it right? They don't overlay anything. They take out all the bad stuff, take out all the mold, and they put in all the good stuff. Jacob or jacobbaths.com. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center here once again. It's Connor McCarthy.
All right, McGraw, an accident on 64 westbound is blocking the 2 left lanes. There was already a bit of traffic that way due to the morning rush, and now it is completely slowed to a near stop. So if you're going 64 westbound, that's right past 170. There's an accident blocking the 2 left lanes. Traffic is blocked up for quite a while. That's the latest from the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
The heat of summer has arrived with humidity, dew points, and constant hydration. But it's always cool and comfortable at Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant. Whether it's summer camp, cooling off at the pool, or just relaxing in the shade, Gingham's is a great way to start or finish any day. Just add us to your to-do list. The management and staff at Gingham's would like to wish our customers and friends a safe and enjoyable summer, and to the United States of America, a very happy 250th birthday. Gingham's Restaurant St. Charles or ginghamsrestaurant.com.
Looking for a smarter, safer way to invest? For a limited time, lock in a great rate with Together Credit Union's 11-month CD special. From day one, your return on investment is guaranteed. No market swings, no surprises, just a competitive fixed rate that steadily grows your deposit. Make your money work harder with a financial partner that puts you first. Visit a Together Credit Union branch near you or go online to togethercu.org to learn more. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
For the first time in a generation, the World Cup is back on North American soil. From St. Louis City SC to the global stage, there's never been a more exciting time to be a soccer fan in the Lou. Just like a championship team needs a game plan, your retirement deserves one too. At Means Financial Group, we help individuals and families build retirement strategies designed for confidence and clarity. Learn more at meansfinancialgroup.com. Means Financial Group. planning for what retirement means to you.
Why leave home for vacation when your favorite destination could be your own backyard? Hi, this is Dan Head, owner of Patriot Builds. Transform your deck or patio into the perfect place to relax and make memories with the Patriot sunroom, screen room, patio cover, power shades, outdoor kitchen, and much more. Our employee craftsmen have helped over 10,000 homeowners create stunning backyard living spaces. Save thousands with a free insulated roof upgrade. Call today for your free design consultation, 314-822-3232, or click patriotbuildsstl.com or visit our showroom at 811 South Kirkwood Road.
This is the only station of the STL that has been live, local, and locally owned
For 3 decades. The Big 550, KTRS St. Louis. Depend on it.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. As efforts to resolve the Iran situation appear to be going nowhere, what are going somewhere are missiles. The U.S. and Iran shooting them, the U.S. at Iran and Iran at several Mideast countries. Oil prices have jumped, and so could gasoline. On the Strait of Hormuz, ABC News Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce.
The ceasefire is now unraveling. The Iranians this morning say the agreement has, quote, entered a crisis stage. Now, overnight, the U.S. launching a new round of strikes against Iran, the fourth series of attacks in less than a week. Iran then responding with a barrage of strikes aimed at American military assets in the Middle East.
More Israeli air attacks on Gaza City. At least 6 Palestinians were killed, say Palestinian health officials. The Israeli military says it targeted terrorists. Extreme heat spreading across more of the nation, storms and flooding from the Midwest to the east. ABC News Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z.
In Philadelphia, the National Weather Service confirming at least 4 microbursts tore through the city. 70-mile-per-hour winds downing hundreds of trees and ripping roofs off buildings.
Mandating more motion.
It's part of a nationwide drive to get kids off their devices, at least for a few minutes a day. But Oklahoma school officials are in a dilemma.
Students need to be outside playing as much as possible, but they also need every instructional minute that we can get our hands on.
Holly McKinney is an assistant superintendent in Norman, Oklahoma. Instead of lengthening the school day, her district is incorporating literacy into science and social studies lessons, freeing up the additional 20 minutes of recess time mandated by the state. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham's sudden death was due to a ruptured aorta from heart disease, says preliminary info from the medical examiner. A statement explaining his absence from the Senate, Kentucky's Mitch McConnell, saying he had a fall last month and was in the hospital for a while, now in rehab. McConnell is 84. You're listening to ABC News.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Now there's a new way to take charge of your blood sugar. Introducing new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula from the makers of the nation's best-selling garlic supplement. New Garlic helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels with clinically supported levels of garlic, plus a custom blend of vitamins and minerals, and it's odor-free. Take charge of your blood sugar with new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
75 degrees at 9:03. U.S. Steel is reporting the death of an employee at the Granite City Works facility this past weekend. The company says the employee died at the Metro East steel mill Saturday morning. Union leaders say they were told the 62-year-old employee's death happened due to a high-voltage flash in the cold mill part of the facility. Illinois State Police conducted a violent crime suppression detail in St. Clair and Madison counties. KTRS's Brendan Wiese has details.
Went down on July 8th and 9th. The operation focused on known high crime areas, violent offenders, and structured criminal groups. It resulted in 13 arrests, 18 total charges, 15 of those felonies, 10 were firearm related. I'm Brendan Wiese, KTRS News.
Illinois has a new law which bans AI use for teacher evaluations. Senate Bill 2909 was signed into law on Friday. It will prevent school administrators from using AI to write teacher evaluations. The use of AI while writing these evaluations brings up many transparency and privacy concerns for teachers. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, a place for all your floral needs. And you can place your order anytime at WKF.com. And now let's take a look at the markets brought to you by JBL Financial. You can tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement on Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 right here on the Big 550. The Dow is up 184 points to 52,800. The S&P is down 27 points to 7,600. And the NASDAQ is down 286 points to 26,000. In KTRS Sports, the Cardinals enter the All-Star break with a 4-3 loss to the Braves at Busch. The Redbirds are 5 games above 500 with a record 50-45. The semifinals are set for Soccer's World Cup. France will take on Spain tomorrow afternoon in Arlington. Meanwhile, the defending champs Argentina meet England on the pitch Wednesday from Atlanta. In KTRS Time Saver Traffic, let's go to the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center for a look at the roads where we find Connor McCarthy standing by.
All right, Rose, that accident on 64 westbound right at McKnight Road, that's past the 170 merge, is still blocking the 2 left lanes, causing a lot of traffic as you head on 40 westbound past 170. Almost at a complete standstill. Crews have not been able to clear that accident off the road yet. That's the latest from the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Connor. In KTRS weather, sunny today with a high of 88. Clear tonight with an overnight low of 71. And tomorrow, sunny with a high of 91. It's currently 75 degrees at 9:05. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
This is Mariah, 3rd generation at Newsteaders Fine Jewelry. Buying an engagement ring can be intimidating. At Newsteaders, we ensure complete understanding of your purchase. We offer a choice in both lab and mine-grown diamonds and are able to work with any budget. Let our family help educate you on your choice at Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or at wowdiamonds.com.
Hi, I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I want your fixer-upper home. It's crazy to spend a ton of money fixing it up when I will pay you top dollar right now. I don't even care what condition it's in. Your trash is my treasure. No inspections, no contingencies, just cold, hard cash. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867. That's Mike Robinson, 314-283-0867, or at robangproperties.com.
It's the GOAT! The greatest of all trade-in events at HW Kia. Bring your trade now and get up to $5,000 over book value for it. If your trade is old, tired, stinky, or being held together by duct tape and a prayer, HW Kia wants it. Paid off or not, bring that old goat in to HW Kia. Then drive home a new HW Kia K4 for just $189 a month. Yes, only $189 a month on a 24-month lease. It's the HW Kia GOAT event. The greatest of all trade-in events. Get up to $5,000 over book value for your trade now. New K4, just $189 a month. HW Kia in the heart of West County on Manchester Road. And remember, Big D wants to see ya in an HW Kia. Start now at hwkia.com. Summer sticker sales event. With approved credit to well-qualified buyers through Kia Finance. 2026 K4, $36.95 to signing. Discount includes $850 in lease cash. 10,000 miles per year. No security deposit. Plus tax, title, license, and admin. Fee expires 7/31/26.
Your yard, your workday, your John Deere. At Side & Sugar Nobe Partners, get the mowing power you need with low financing options on John Deere Zero Turns. For a limited time, choose 0% financing for 36 months or 1.9% financing for 60 months on Z700, Z900, and Quick Track commercial mowers. Plus, get additional cash off select mowers. Side & Sugar Nobe, your partner for the land.
Offer valid through 6/1/2026. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Hey, St. Louis, temperatures are rising, and if your AC isn't blowing cold enough, trust the experts at AAA Home Services. For 56 years, they've been fixing it right the first time. Our expert technicians are qualified to work on any system with any issue. We can even perform your annual maintenance on your air conditioner before it gets too hot. And if you need an estimate on a new system, we can do that too. For 56 years, St. Louis has trusted AAA for heating and cooling, electrical, plumbing, and appliance repair needs. Call 636-397-3200. Online at AAASTL.com. Call AAA. We're on our way. Let's face it, most people are not thinking about planning a funeral, but planning ahead can bring you significant savings by locking in today's prices. Lakeview Funeral Home and Memorial Gardens in Fairview Heights is part of Dignity Memorial. They've been an essential part of the community for generations and believe a funeral service or cremation memorial should be as unique as the person it honors. Receive low interest options on prepaid cremation property and burial plans and up to 10% off cemetery property and funeral plans. Experience the dignity difference. Call Lakeview Funeral Home and Memorial Gardens at 618-233-7200 to schedule a pre-planning appointment. Online at dignitymemorial.com.
Go!
In soccer, a guaranteed win is rare. But in real estate, Gloria Lou makes it happen.
Sell with certainty this summer with Gloria Lou at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. While the world's best score on the field, Gloria scores and sells for you this summer. Her summer upfront guarantee. Gloria will sell your home at 100% of market value, or she'll pay you the difference. Call 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
This is the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.
Live and local.
Depend on it. This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
All right, let's get right to it. She's been the Attorney General for only a few months, but she has certainly hit the ground running and creating quite a bit of news in that office. Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway joins us for a couple of minutes. Miss Attorney General, welcome back to the show.
Good morning, McGraw. Great to be with you.
Let's first start about this Mark Twain Hotel, which has popped up in the news recently. You're all in on trying to shut it down. What's going on here?
Well, it's just deplorable conditions for the people who are living there. The roof seeps water in. There are people dealing drugs in the building. There's black mold throughout the building. There's bed bugs. And so we got to shut this thing down and get the people who are in there out of there and hopefully into better housing placements. For some of those, better housing is going to be prison because, as I said, there are a number of people dealing a lot of drugs out of that building, but there are also perfectly innocent people who are living in these horrible conditions. We sent a letter to the owner last week demanding that either send us a plan for how he was going to fix the building or a plan for shutting it down. He said he's going to shut it down by September 1st.
So this is a building, it's a hotel right next to the AT&T Tower in downtown St. Louis. Why does this rise to the level of the Attorney General? Why isn't this handled by the city of St. Louis?
Well, we have a really good state-level law that allows us to go in and shut down a public nuisance, and this is a public nuisance. There's no two ways about it. It causes all kinds of problems downtown. In fact, one of the first meetings I had when I came into office was with the Fraternal Order of Police, and I said to them, what can we do to help? And they said, well, there's a couple of buildings downtown that just attract criminals, but we don't have all the tools that we need at the local level to take care of them. If you can help with that, that would be terrifically helpful. And so obviously shutting down a whole building is a complicated thing to do. And so we've been working on this for a number of months, and I'm really glad we've got the owner's agreement to shut it down.
Are you working in conjunction with the city, or are you doing this totally on your own?
So I've talked to the mayor about it. This is something we're doing on our own. Obviously, we're going to coordinate with the police department and have been almost on a daily basis on a number of issues, but it's a really good working relationship, and particularly with the police. But we also have the responsibility now as the Attorney General's office to represent the police. And so we work with them, people from our office daily. We're defending 80 cases for them. And it has been, a good way to bond, but also it's where we want to be. We want to be as supportive as we possibly can of our police officers.
Is that because of the state takeover? Now this is a new responsibility by the Attorney General's office, or has it always been that way?
No, this is a new responsibility. Before there was local control, back when St. Louis was under state control, it was the responsibility of the Attorney General. In Kansas City, where the state controls the police department, we have those cases as well. But yes, it's a new responsibility that came back to us when the state took over the police department again.
Any other buildings you're looking at and possibly going to move on in the relatively near future?
Yeah, there are other buildings we're looking at. I'm not at liberty to say, obviously, if we can reach some kind of an agreement without having to go public, that's our, best option. If we can get the owners to cooperate and work with us and not have to, threaten litigation. But there are a couple of other buildings we're looking at downtown. And, it's really a challenge. No one would disagree that the Mark Twain building is a horrible place. Like, it's a hellhole. There's no question about that. The complicating factor is, what do you do with the people who aren't doing anything wrong that need to be rehoused. And that's not really our responsibility, but I can't ignore that part of it. So we're working with the private sector. We're working with not-for-profits. We're doing everything we can to make sure those people have someplace to live.
The owner seems to be, dare I say, welcoming this from you, or is he reluctantly working with you?
I would say there's some reluctance. And look, we'll see if he follows up, because his development, he got a loan through a group associated with Greater St. Louis. Civic leaders were optimistic that this guy was actually going to redevelop this property. He hasn't come through on that. There's a lawsuit on that loan. And now he's making more promises about what he's going to do. I hope he lives up to those promises. But if he doesn't, we'll drop the hammer.
Yeah. All right. The Mark Twain Building. While you hear a couple more things in the news, where are we on the gray machines? Some people are now suing you, saying you move too fast, too much. What are your thoughts on these illegal gambling machines now?
So I can't remember where exactly we were the last time that you and I talked, but we estimate that there's about 25,000 machines in the state. We think we have about 17,000 of them shut down. There are still some owners who are recalcitrant to the point, as you described, of suing us. Frankly, you never welcome a lawsuit, but these two lawsuits, we're going to get decisions in them. We're going to get favorable decisions in these cases, and then there'll be some Missouri precedent. Part of the problem with getting rid of these machines in the past was county prosecutors were trying to do it. Similar lawsuits would get filed. The people who own the machines would have almost unlimited resources to litigate those cases, and the county prosecutors would just kind of get overwhelmed. Well, we're not going to get overwhelmed. We'll win these suits. We'll set good law. In the past, those lawsuits would get dismissed, so there isn't really any Missouri case law except a case from the 1930s and a Platte County case that's at the district court level. So hopefully by resolving these lawsuits, we'll take away any argument, but there's no argument. Anyone with any common sense knows these are gambling devices. And that's why we're trying to shut them down, because it's $1 billion cash industry. And that, first of all, the state doesn't collect any taxes on it, but we don't know where that cash is going. And I can guarantee you that other crimes are being committed under either against those companies or stealing that cash, or the cash is funding other criminal enterprises. And my big fear, I don't think it has happened yet, but my big fear is, as there got to be turf battles over who would control which site for these machines, we were going to get real organized crime back in Missouri.
That's on the gambling machines. Bitcoin ATM machines, you've taken a crosshairs at. Where are we with you cracking down on those?
So we sued a company called CoinFlip, which is the major owner of Bitcoin ATMs in Missouri. Bitcoin ATMs have become the modern getaway car for people who would commit fraud. So now the fraudsters who are calling people and saying, hey, your taxes were late and this is the IRS, and if you don't send us $5,000, we're going to put a warrant out for your arrest. Go deposit your cash into one of these Bitcoin ATM machines. Like, that is how the fraudsters who are ripping off old people and other vulnerable people on the phone are getting the cash paid to them. When that doesn't happen, when it's a quote-unquote legitimate transaction, we also know that they're charging fees of as much as 20%. So if you put $1,000 in one of these machines thinking you're buying Bitcoin, they're going to take $200 of it. And I say that with some hesitation in my voice because I'm not sure any of these are legitimate transactions. We have a guy in Joplin, Missouri, 80-year-old veteran, put between $180,000 and $200,000 into one of these machines. It's gone. Like, this poor man is out his life savings. Another woman got a call. She had missed jury duty. She was told, if you don't put $1,000 in the machine, we're going to come and arrest you. Of course, it wasn't anybody from, the jury pool. And she scrounged around, found her $1,000. It's gone. And so what we want to do is clean up this industry. There really isn't a need for these machines. If you want to invest in Bitcoin, because this is not a judgment about Bitcoin. If you want to invest in cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, just do it through a legitimate source. Please don't use these machines. I don't think they're anything other than boxes for fraudsters to have you deposit money and they'll come by and pick it up later.
While a lot of people agree with you, Catherine Hanaway, what's the actual crime that the Bitcoin machine is doing, or the owner of the Bitcoin machine is breaking?
Well, certainly they are making misrepresentations about the amount of fees, and that's kind of the back door that we're getting them on, is false advertising. The most powerful statute that the Missouri Attorney General has at my disposal is the Missouri Merchandising Practices Act, which allows us to go against anyone who makes false statements to the public trying to get money from them. So it's actually a civil lawsuit. We're not charging them criminally. I would guess if you dug a little deeper and could get that proof beyond a reasonable doubt, then the local prosecutors could charge them. We do not have in the Missouri Attorney General's office original criminal jurisdiction on anything except a few crimes. Gambling is one of those crimes.
All right, a couple more minutes while I have you here. Last time you were on, you talked about you were cracking down on this kratom, which is this synthetic opioid, this synthetic drug that's sold in convenience stores, gas stations around the country. The Trump administration just made some type of ruling or some type of not legislation, but a ruling or something that they want to crack down on this synthetic kratom. Does that help you, or not so much when you're trying to rue this out? What's your thoughts on that?
McGraw, it helps a ton. What the Trump administration did is that the FDA scheduled the synthetic opioids as narcotics. So now all our county prosecutors can go out and charge possession and distribution like they could with heroin. Previously, since it wasn't a scheduled drug, they couldn't do that, even though this drug is perhaps as damaging. And I will mention that, like all these efforts, we're sort of putting under an umbrella we call the Vice Squad. And it's because we believe that the crime that's happening in downtown St. Louis and other places where we've seen just surges in violent crime over the last decade that have really hurt our communities. So much of that crime is driven by illegal drugs or the money from illegal gaming or these fraud schemes. And so it is a concerted effort where we're working together with the two U.S. attorneys, the local prosecutors, police. And I have to give credit to somebody I know you've had on your show a few times, Jane Duker, who's come to work in our office and is really focusing every single day on downtown St. Louis. And, it's kind of funny that Jane and I are working together. We've been on opposite sides of things in the past, but the one thing we've always agreed on is that in order to fight violent crime, we have to support our police, we have to pay them enough, and we have to hire enough of them to combat the problem.
When it comes to this kratom, is there a difference between the synthetic versus the natural, or does it matter?
Yeah, there is some difference. And I'm not a chemist, but what I can tell you is that the natural product does come from a plant. I don't know if it has the health benefits that they claim. What I do know is that in the natural form, it's not as intense as when they distill it down to these synthetic opioids. And I know the synthetic opioids are the most intoxicating and the most deadly. 170, the coroners in Missouri reported to us that in the last 5 years, 161 people have died from 7-OH or synthetic opioid overdoses. So we went at the worst problem first. I think the Missouri General Assembly and others are going to have a debate about whether kratom in its natural form should also be regulated.
Interesting. Catherine Hanaway with us. We're getting a number of text messages coming in. The overwhelming majority of these text messages want me to ask you this question. If they see gambling machines that are out and about, where do they call? Who do they call to report the gambling machines to the Attorney General's office?
The best way to do it is to just log on to our website at ago.mo.gov and file a complaint, which is super helpful to us. The other thing to do is to call the Highway Patrol, because it's actually the patrol that's going out and doing the seizures of these machines for us. But it is very, very helpful if people actually report.
Last question for you, and I asked you this before, but I'll ask you it again because before you were appointed Attorney General, you were living your life, minding your own business as a lawyer here in St. Louis, not really paying attention to illegal gambling machines, kratom, robocalls, Bitcoin machines. But tell the story. Once you sat in that chair, very quickly these stories and these issues rose to your attention. What happened?
Well, when I was in private life, the one thing that I continued to do was support the police. I was on the Police Foundation Board, and I was on the St. Louis Crime Commission and Backstoppers. And I was also engaged civically. And I know, at least from the business community's perspective, that crime is the number one problem in St. Louis. So once I got into this job, I tried to start dissecting it. Like, what are the root causes? And which of those root causes can the Missouri Attorney General go after? I mean, Gabe Gore and Melissa Price Smith and Joe McCullough have to, prosecute murder and mayhem. What can the Attorney General do? And what I discovered was that so much of the money that was fueling the ability to buy and deal drugs and to buy firearms and the whole, understructure of criminal activity was related to these fraud schemes, illegal gambling, and illegal drugs. So that's why I focus where I am.
Catherine Hanaway, you're always welcome here. Get back to work. Thanks for checking in, as always. Be safe.
Thanks so much, McGraw.
You got it.
Have a great week.
You got it. Catherine Hanaway with us to start off a Monday morning here. We'll take phone calls, text messages, all that straight ahead. Phone number is 314-931-5877. 314-931-5877. Text your comments to 84126. Beatty Roofing. Beatty Roofing is here to help. And with these storms, the roof gets damaged. With these winds and hail, the roof gets damaged. And guess what? You need to call somebody you can trust. Beatty Roofing was originally one of the big four. They started off in commercial roofing, and they've done some of the biggest roofing jobs in St. Louis. St. Louis Science Center, Lambert Airport, the Magic House, Convention Center. You don't get those jobs by accident. You get those jobs because you have a reputation of doing things right. And then you keep getting those jobs because that reputation keeps building because you keep doing things right. Beatty Roofing, last couple of years, has now taken what they've learned in the commercial side of roofing and they've brought it down to the residential side. So you get that same great customer service on the commercial side now on the residential side. They have project managers on site every single day in every single residential job. Why? To make sure everything is done right. An extra eyes and ears, an extra pair of hands for cleanup, for safety reasons, for everything else. One of the ways Beatty helps. If you are a first responder, mention that. You'll get 10% off. Big supporters of local charities as well. Beatty Roofing, been around since 1954. They'll fix your roof. They'll work with your insurance company. They'll get it done, and they'll get it done right. Beatty Roofing or BeattyRoofing.com. St. Louis Closet Company Shopping Center. Here once again is Connor McCarthy.
All right, McGraw crews have finally cleared the crash on 64 westbound at McKnight that had been blocking the two left lanes and shutting down traffic almost to a standstill there on 64 West. Still a little bit of slow going, probably just due to some regular traffic congestion as we get into the late morning. And then of note for the rest of the day today on 70 westbound, right past the 70-64 merge, there will be construction shutting down the left lane, turning that into a one-lane highway. A lot of traffic slowdown right there as we go along. That's the latest from the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
Way to go for the USA! He has done it! What
go! It's time for a CarShield Sportsplex 2026 Summer of Soccer Update. Presented by Royal Banks of Missouri and Ragazzi's.
World Cup semifinals are set. They begin tomorrow in Arlington, France and Spain at 2 o'clock. And then on Wednesday, the second semifinal to be played in Atlanta, England, the defending champs from Argentina. That will be a 2 o'clock kick. This CarShield Sportsplex Summer of Soccer Update presented by Royal Banks of Missouri and Ragazzi. Also brought to you by HW Kia, WS Window and Door, Fisher and Fritchell Homes, STL Bartenders to Go, and Gingham's Restaurant on the Big 550.
This has been the CarShield Sportsplex 2026 Summer of Soccer Update on the Talk of St. Louis, the Big 550, KTRS. Heidi Glaus, Josh Gilbert, and Bob Ramsey. Weekday afternoons at 3 on the Big 550.
Always crime and always on.
KTRS.
Calling all Metro East residents. The weather may be unpredictable, but that doesn't mean your home comfort has to be. From emergency heating and cooling emergencies and repairs to new systems and yearly maintenance checks, you can feel confident that you're ready for whatever Mother Nature throws at you with the help from the friends at Viviano. Get quality, reliable service every time, any season. Go to their website, vivianoair.com. That's vivianoair.com. Train, the most reliable name in heating and cooling around. It's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Jason Hughes with TR Hughes Homes, and we are currently offering half off up to $33,000 in options and up to $3,300 in closing costs on brand new to-be-built homes at select TR Hughes communities. That's right, half off up to $33,000 in options and up to $3,300 in closing costs. Visit trhughes.com for details. That's trhughes.com.
The choice of a home builder is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
However, you really should visit trhughes.com.
Every summer, homeowners make plans. A new grill, a backyard project, a family vacation. But what about the upgrades you'll enjoy every single day? If your windows are drafty, difficult to open, or your entry and patio door has seen better days, now is the perfect time to make a change. Renewal by Andersen makes replacing windows and doors simple with beautifully crafted products, professional installation, and a customer experience that's second to none. And right now, you'll save big. Get $1,000 off your patio or entry door purchase and take $400 off each replacement window. All you have to do is call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Again, that's 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
Hey St. Louis, whether it be auto, home, life, or business insurance, Alexander Hinton has you covered as a trusted insurance agent of the Big 550, KTRS. Get a quote today with Alexander Hinton and American Family Insurance. Keep your insurance agent local, not managed by a call center, and speak to the same person every time you call.
Save now by calling 314-205-2050. That's 314-205-2050.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies. American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londorf Chevrolet, the Londorf Autoplex, and Londorf.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, 9:33 here, Big 550 KTRS. From the Country Club Car Wash text line, I have a lot of problems with Catherine Hanaway on her politics. However, I am appreciative and impressed with what it is that she is putting a stop to in the state since she has taken office. That is from the 314 from the text line. And then we've got a slew of texts, a number of them. Our Attorney General is great, doesn't hold back and tells it like it is. Please keep having her on from time to time. Why is Connor doing traffic? Where's the normal traffic guy? And then how do you report illegal gambling machines? We get a lot of those.
Captain Paul will be back tomorrow.
Catherine Hanaway is showing Eric Schmidt and Andrew Bailey what they should have been doing instead of constantly pandering endlessly to the Trump and MAGA while they were attorney generals. Why is better place than these people can afford? I get impression there are no such places. And then, of course, we had a number of people commenting on what Catherine Hanaway said. And this is super inside. But a number of people on the text line have mentioned it, and so I will bring it up as well. She mentioned the name of a woman who I refuse to have on the show, and I refuse to mention because, well, I caught her in a couple of lies, and I don't put people on the show I knowingly lie. That's really not kind of the show I want to do. And so she used to come on the show quite a bit, and now she's no longer on the show, and apparently she's now working for Catherine Hanaway. I don't wish her any ill will, but I don't put her on the show, and I don't really acknowledge her in any way, shape, or form because, that's sort of the deal. And so a couple people on the texter said, I thought you said you weren't going to mention her name. I didn't mention her name. Catherine Hanaway mentioned her name. Catherine Hanaway can say anything she wants. Catherine Hanaway can do anything she wants. But for those who are on the text line wanting to know what I thought, I almost said something during the interview, but then I thought, no, that's grandstanding. I mean, again, this is happening in real time, so I've got to think of this stuff while I'm thinking of the next question and
she doesn't know,
and listening to her answer and having a really important discussion about the things of the day. Does anybody really care about a feud I had with some guest from 10 years ago? No, not really. What's more important? The latest on the Bitcoin ATM machine situation, or the Mark Twain Hotel, or the illegal gambling machines, or my petty, issue with some guest I had on the show from 10 years ago. So I erred on the side of caution and didn't say anything. However, after the interview, I'll be happy to address it because a number of people on the text line addressed it. She's still not welcome on the show. She won't be. If the Attorney General's office calls us up and says, "Hey, she wants to come on." No, I don't trust her. I don't believe her. So I don't put people on the show I knowingly lie. Now, they come on the show and lie, and I don't know about it. I can't stop that, but I don't knowingly put people on who I know have been, caught in lies and disingenuous and everything else. So there you go. I've asked and answered. So that's my thought. Boy, we had a lot of controversy. The woman on Monday called me the wrong name. I didn't know what to do. You got Catherine Hanaway dropping names on the show. I don't know what to do. It's crazy around here. 314-931-5877. 314-931-5877. Text your comments 84126. So a man dumped $200,000 in a Bitcoin machine, and a woman had given $1,000 to some scammer over the telephone without doing any research. That's right there. Just shows how stupid people really are. I don't really think that's fair. Because they're taking advantage. Have you ever been taken advantage of? Have you ever been scammed online in some way, shape, or form? I get it, but there are, when people prey on your fears, it's a dangerous game. And all right, what are these scammers who they sort of take your grandchild's voice and use some artificial intelligence to have them play like, "Oh my goodness, Mom, I've been kidnapped. Please send money." Right? The first thing you're going to do is, "Oh my goodness, I have to get my kid back." And so you give up the ransom money, or you do all sorts of certain things. There, but for the grace of God, go any of us. And if you fall for a scammer, it doesn't mean you're stupid or ignorant or anything. And quite frankly, that line of thinking and that criticism of those people, the scammers prey on that. And the people who get scammed don't want to publicly admit they got scammed because they don't want other people to say, oh, I'm stupid. Oh, I can't live by myself anymore. Oh, they're going to take my car away from me. Oh, so what do? They continue to give money to the person who's blackmailing them because they don't want people to know they've been blackmailed. And so it continues the scam. And so by calling people stupid, who have been scammed, plays into the scammer's game. So I think that's disingenuous and walk a mile in someone's shoes before you really call them out. That's just my 2 cents for what it's worth. 940 here, Big 550 KTRS. You acted and reacted professionally, so no, we don't need the drama. You were right in your choice not to say anything. All right, good. Somebody agreeing with me. That's weird. I don't know. I love Connor doing traffic. Paul's a nice guy, but Radio 101 teaches you not to pop your peas so much. Come on, McGraw. You can expect and demand better. Captain Paul pops his peas?
I believe it's the equipment he's using from home.
Oh.
It's not necessarily him. It's just the limitations of what he's using from home.
Don't be popping your peas. Connor, don't be popping your peas. So there. Speaking of that, no, I won't say that.
See, showed restraint again.
I said again. What is going on with me? I love our Attorney General, the work she and her office is doing, and that she comes on your show. I agree. I agree. Guilty as charged. I've always had a great amount of respect for Catherine Hanaway for all sorts of reasons. Because I think she's no nonsense. I think she's not a clown figure. She doesn't play the right. She's a straight and narrow. She's no nonsense. She's buttoned up. She's professional. She's old school in an era where old school politicians, she doesn't go for the cheap soundbite. She doesn't go for the clickbait. She doesn't play those games. I've always had a great amount of respect for Catherine Hanaway.
She would have been a good governor.
She would have been a good governor. And something makes me think that she is...
She might be a good governor.
Something makes me think she's trying to rearrange the deck chairs to that after Mike Kehoe has finished his 4 or 8 years, that Catherine Hanaway, late in life, she took her shot and lost in the primary because she wasn't that bombastic, that in-your-face, that clickbait, that sort of celebrity conservative where she just says what people want to hear. She was much more professional, and that doesn't seem to buy you a lot of votes these days. A professional, traditional elected official who, is not playing the media game. And, she went off into private practice, probably thought she was never, politics were behind her. And then this opportunity to be tapped attorney general and, picking up a lot of these issues that the past attorney generals didn't want to touch because they didn't want to upset somebody. They were looking for higher office. It was just a stepping stone. It was a place for them to get some attention with the national media and so on and so forth. But no, whether you're a Republican or Democrat, I mean, you might be able to disagree with her on all sorts of issues, but in terms of her being an attorney general, I think, the overwhelming results are, she's been a great attorney general, even in only the first couple months she's been doing it. So anyway. All right, 314-931-5877, 314-931-5877. Text your comments to 84126. Let's do this. Take a break. Let me tell you about Neighbors Credit Union, and we'll come back, take some phone calls. Neighbors Credit Union, neighborscu.org, neighborscu.org. You want to open up a home everything line of credit? You can do that at Neighbors Credit Union. You can enjoy the low monthly introductory rate for the first 12 months. When you take out money, let's say you want to put money in, smart account. When you put money into Neighbors Credit Union, guess what? You can Well, what can you do? You can get a higher interest rate when you put money in. So you're taking money out, they'll give you a lower interest rate. Putting money in, you get a higher interest rate. It's a pretty good deal. Neighbors Credit Union, been around 100 years. 100 years ago, they started as a credit union for letter carriers. All that has gone by the wayside. Now it's open to everybody. Everybody can benefit from being a good neighbor. Everybody can benefit from Neighbors Credit Union. Find out more. 8 area locations throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. neighborscu.org.
This July, we celebrate our nation's 250 years of independence and the anniversary of the One Big Beautiful Bill. As a small business owner, you understand the freedom and independence that comes from owning your own business. Hi, I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisory Group and the author of the 2 #1 best-selling books on taxes, Keep What's Yours and Keeping What's Yours. We're celebrating 50 years helping small businesses maintain their independence by minimizing their financial risk to their business, reducing their tax liability, and growing their wealth with strategic tax planning. If you're relying on investment advice from someone who isn't familiar with strategic tax planning and you feel like you might be paying more than your fair share in taxes, give us a call. 636-394-5524. That's 636-394-5524 or online at capitaladvisorygrp.com.
When it comes to mortgage lenders, I know you have no shortage of options. But are you working with someone local who can truly simplify the process? I'm David Goldberg with the Goldberg Group. And as a St. Louis home purchase expert, I know this market inside and out. I specialize in tough-to-complete situations for borrowers who are self-employed, looking to buy and sell at the same time, and may have been turned down somewhere else. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or seasoned homeowner, you can trust me with all of your home financing needs. Call or text me at 314-471-4030. 314-471-4030.
Hi, I'm Robert Williams, owner of Auto Art on the Hill. If you own a classic car, Auto Art is your one-stop shop for repair, restoration, and maintenance. For over 35 years, we've helped car enthusiasts and collectors keep their vehicles looking great and running their best so they can drive them. We're also proud to be the home of the award-winning Throttle Squad Car Club. Our reputation as experts in classic car restoration has attracted car collectors from around the country. We work on full and partial restorations within your budget for any project, no matter how big or small. Restoration, collision care, and 50s flair. Auto Art at 5305 Northrop Avenue on the Hill. Online at autoartstl.com.
For the last 33 years, we've discovered that at Banner Construction, we pride ourselves on quality craftsmanship. We believe the single most important decision homeowners must make when considering an exterior restoration project is, who do I hire? At Banner, we provide well-engineered, meaningful long-term solutions to transform your home into the pride of the neighborhood. Let us help you fall in love with your home all over again. Call or visit bannerconstruction.com and have a banner day.
Looking for a smarter, safer way to invest? For a limited time, lock in a great rate with Together Credit Union's 11-month CD special. From day one, your return on investment is guaranteed. No market swings, no surprises, just a competitive fixed rate that steadily grows your deposit. Make your money work harder with a financial partner that puts you first. Visit a Together Credit Union branch near you or go online to togethercu.org to learn more. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
Connor's getting some love on the text message. What's going on there? We'll get to that in a second. Hey, don't forget, it's Christmas in July all month long. Nothing says Christmas like humidity up over 80% with 90-degree weather. Christmas in July all month long here at the Big 550 KTRS. What does that mean? They were canceled last Friday because of the rain and the storms. So Westport Plaza Family Movie Night is back on this Friday. The free showing of Disney's classic Cars. Face painting and concessions start at 6. Stage show starts at 7. And the movie, the credits will roll at 7:45. That means you need to be in your seat, quiet, ready for the previews at 7:45. Families need to bring a new unwrapped toy or non-perishable item. The first 75 people who bring a toy will get a free ticket to Disney on Ice, presented by Find Your Hero, performing this September at the Chaffetz Arena. Also, a specialty shake at the soda fountain, which is, by the way, that is a really good shake at the soda fountain. Also, I get the BLT over there. That BLT is really good. But I digress. Free movie night this Friday, Westport Plaza, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. Disney's Cars, 6 p.m. face painting, 7 p.m. Stage show, 7:45. They'll hit play on the DVD or the projector.
I'm sure it's digital.
Yes. Text line's gone crazy. Hi, sorry I missed the interview with Catherine Hanaway. She is great. You can go to KTRS.com if you missed any of it. Mitch McConnell, Dianne Feinstein, Joe Biden, they all should have removed themselves from politics instead of making people talk about it every day. Appreciate Connor's style. He's okay with sharing other information. What's another side of the coin's perspective intelligently? That is from Connor's phone, it looks like. I have Connor's phone. It looks like Connor's phone number.
He would like to defend himself?
Yes, Connor?
Well, I don't know what other side of the coin the traffic has had this morning, but
yeah, there's an alternative.
Maybe that's a different.
There's a liberal way to look at the traffic and a conservative way to look at traffic. Who was the woman McGraw's been talking about that now works for Catherine Hanaway? Call Catherine Hanaway. Hey, McGraw, something you may not know about Catherine Hanaway because you were not in town when she was Speaker of the House. Yes, I was. Is that we have her to thank for the legislature continuously overriding the vote of the people in the state. We voted down concealed carry, and Catherine Hanaway had the legislature override that vote. Same thing with puppy mills. I was in town when Catherine Hanaway was Speaker of the House. I remember that quite well, actually. And I have to go back and look at when the concealed carry was overturned, when the puppy mills was overturned. I think the puppy mills was also signed by Governor Nixon. After the people rejected the voted away with puppy mills, and then they sort of came up with some compromise or something, and then I think it was ultimately signed by Democrat Jay Nixon. There's both parties, I would say, are pretty guilty of overturning the vote of the people, which is why this Amendment 4 is such an interesting thing. I don't know why the people would vote to make it harder to pass things they want when the history has been they've passed it and the state has overrode it. And so if Amendment 4, there's no easy way to explain it, but Amendment 4 says that the legislature, if a citizen's petition is put if a constitutional amendment is put on the ballot by the legislature, it only needs a 50% vote. If it's put on by the citizens, a citizen's petition, then it must pass every single congressional district by 50%. So that's almost impossible to do, to have every single district, especially now that it's even more gerrymandered than it was before, to pass. Every single one of them has to pass, which means we wouldn't have gotten gambling. We wouldn't have gotten marijuana. There's a whole list of other. We wouldn't gotten some tax breaks. There's a whole host of things that wouldn't have passed because the citizens put the initiative petition on the ballot, and it didn't pass every single congressional district. So I don't understand why anybody would want to make the legislature more powerful and make the citizens' vote less powerful. Seems weird to me, but there you go. Bob Crane was DJ before Hogan's Heroes. You have options. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Connor, what does that mean? Bob Crane, by the way, died in a very mysterious... Did you ever see that movie Autofocus?
Yes.
That could be the creepiest movie I've ever seen. That is a creepy movie.
Aaron Eckhart?
It was...
No,
it was...
Kilborn.
No, it was...
the other guy that looks just like those guys.
It was the Green Goblin. William Dafoe Was it William Dafoe? And then it was Greg Kinnear. That movie is one disturbingly creepy movie. It's the story of Bob Crane and his buddy who got into like pornography.
Weird stuff
before like pornography. It was like when like videos first came out or cameras first came out. That is a disturbing movie. Very, very bizarre.
It's based on a book, The Murder of Bob Crane.
Yeah, no, that's and it's never been solved. The murder of Bob Crane. No one really knows what happened. I think he died somewhere in Phoenix or Scottsdale area. And then I watched over the weekend. I watched the first half of Obsession over the weekend.
And
it's hard to watch when the little one's running through the house and I have to turn it off.
So do you get the hype? It's an original story made for less than $1 million.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's not an original. It's The Monkey's Paw.
For $1 million, it's pretty good. I mean, you can't tell that it's a good premise. It's a great premise. The guy has a crush on a girl, and they're in college, I guess, and he has a crush on the girl. He asks the girl out. The girl's really just sort of not that interested.
Friend zone.
And then he makes a wish on this, whatever, and he wishes that, I wish she would, love me more than anything else in the world. And then the wish comes true, and then she continues to lose her mind, and this guy's like, oh, what have I done? So it's
I'm going to watch it tomorrow.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I haven't seen the end of it, but it started going down the rabbit hole, and I had to turn it off.
And there was a almost 6-year-old running through the house.
And there were a couple of words that were a little salty for the audience.
Very violent.
$19 to rent?
I think it's cheaper than that starting on the 17th.
$19 to rent. Yes, that was crazy to me.
Because it's still in theaters making about a more than that every day.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's why.
They want to make their money.
Yeah. And how much is a movie ticket now? Movie ticket is $19?
No, about $12.
All right. So they probably make money with the home people buying it for $19.
Yeah.
But I only have 48 hours to watch it.
But also, if you watch it at home, you could watch it with you and whoever else is in the house.
And I can pause it and come back to it the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Have I watched Big Mistake on Netflix? No, I have not. Just got in the car. What movie are you talking about?
Obsession.
Obsession. It's that new movie that was made for $1 million. It's like Fatal Attraction, kind of.
It is a horror film.
Oh, without the stars, yeah. Well, Fatal Attraction was kind of a horror film.
It is.
Yeah. Hey, Stages. Let's go back to when theater was normal. Stages and Guys and Dolls getting ready to wrap up. They wrapped up the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, which was great. Now Guys and Dolls is ready to take center stage at Stages, and then they're going to follow up with Come From Away. 2 great musicals, great song and dance with Guys and Dolls, and then Come From Away. If you walk into Come From Away and you have never, ever, ever heard one note of music from that song or from that musical, at the end you will download the album and listen to it over and over again. It's a wonderful, wonderful musical. And oddly enough, it is about 9/11. It's hard to say that it's a wonderful musical about 9/11, but that's how wonderful it is. Go see it for yourself. Great live theater here in town. Stages, stlewis.org. Stages, stlewis.org. We're done. Thanks for putting up with me. Connor's back to his normal role. Captain Paul popping his peas tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow.